Calgary's symbol of success. That headlong rush of the White Steed, still waiting to be unbridled this season of discontent. A glimmer of hope. Quarterback Marcus Crandall returns from the injured list, thrust into a starring role, engineering a last-minute win in Saskatchewan. Big target Vince Danielson has healed too, and not a moment too soon. With him, the offense is in good hands, with leading receiver Travis Moore lost for the season. Through all the injuries, Joe Fleming has played with the untamed fury, the mark of a Calgary Stampeder. In Montreal, the grounding of injured Anthony Calvillo has left the Alouettes wanting at quarterback. Today, third-string backup Jamie Barnett heeds the call of a team crashing on a 4-game losing streak. Handicapped again this week by the absence of franchise player Mike Pringle, on whose shoulders a late-season slump weighs heavily. They're at the post on the road to the Grey Cup. The CFL on CBC today from McMahon Stadium in Calgary. The Stampeders meet the Montreal Alouettes for the second and final time this season. Good afternoon and welcome to the CFL on CBC. Well, the Alouettes are in a free fall, a 4-game losing streak, and desperate measures today as they turn to third stringer Jamie Barnett to make his first CFL start. Anthony Calvillo still hurt, so is Mike Pringle. The Stampeders, on the other hand, had what they called an emotional playoff win last week against Saskatchewan. They're in a playoff race in the West, which now includes Toronto in the crossover because the Argos and Stamps are tied for second place right now with 13 points. The Stampeders think the Owls are ripe for the picking today as we join Peter Rutgazer on the sidelines.
Now, Anthony Calvillo not supposed to play today. I saw him in the warm-up. Watched him walk off the field. I said, Anthony, how's the shoulder? He has that injury, non-throwing shoulder. He says it's not 100%. And then I asked him, are you going to play today? And he says, you never do know. I turned around. Steve Charbonneau was listening in on the conversation. Charbonneau gave me a little bit of a wink, so you never know. Anthony Calvillo could play here today. The expectation for this level in the province of Quebec and in the city of Montreal, very high. They're expected to get to the title game and win a national championship. They want to snap this 4-game losing streak here today at McMahon Stadium. Back up to you, Mark.
Interesting intelligence from the sidelines in the pregame warm-up, but I think Calvillo's big role today will be as an advisor for Jamie Barnett. He's had 1 week taking first-string snaps. What do you make of his predicament?
Well, I think you just hit it on the head right there. He's only had 3 practices. That's 3 practices to try and swallow up the whole offense. I mean, I wonder how much of an offensive game plan they're going to give Jamie Barnett today, or will he be on a limited package? We know what he can do athletically. We saw his arm last week. We know he's got a strong arm. We also know he can run with the football.
And on defense, Chris, 2 rookies on the corners.
You know, I like these guys. Great athletes on the corner. Reggie Durden getting his 2nd start. James Whitley getting his 3rd start. Hasn't played since September. James Whitley hasn't. But the fact is he was Defensive Player of the Week earlier in the season, picking off 2 interceptions. So they can do the job on the corner.
And here in the foothills, all smiles with the return of the men from injury, Marcus Crandall and Vince Danielson, last week.
Well, you know they're happy to have Marcus Crandall back. You know, he wasn't spectacular last week, but he did what he had to do to take the team and put them in a situation to win the football game last week. And he's so happy to have that guy back right there, the big clutch receiver, Vince Danielson, who finally feels 100% healthy.
Looking smart in their retro uniforms for today's big game. How about your game notes?
Come on, stop! Stop, stop! Stop the turnovers on offense. I mean, you can't have 5 interceptions and 2 fumbles. On defense, you got to stop the big play. Ted Alford had his way with the secondary of the Alouettes last week.
How about the Stamps?
Oh, come on smoking. I don't mean cigarettes. I mean, you can't be behind 20-4 and expect to win football games. And on defense, start catching the football. They've got 50 pass knockdowns in the backfield, and they should have at least half interceptions. Last week alone, 3 balls bouncing off the chest. That won't do it.
And Stickham is still banned in the CFL. The Stamps haven't beaten a team in the East this year. That's the order today against Montreal, Peter.
It is bright and sunny. Great day for football. A little bit of a chill in the air, but you never know. The weather can change here in southern Alberta. But for now, looks fantastic. At the half, Standard Life Heroes of the CFL featuring the Al Steve Charbonneau. Don Whitman comes along with his CFL scrapbook. And first half highlights with Mark and Chris. Let's go back upstairs to the big man and Mark.
Thanks very much, Peter. There's Vince Danielson in his 2nd game back after missing 5 with a hamstring injury. And he said last week's victory, Chris, over Saskatchewan was a playoff win because he said this team is so young in Calgary, it's helping to galvanize them by facing the pressure now, the pressure they'll see come playoff time.
it's great to have a game like we go into Regina, and it's 3 hours, and if we don't win in those 3 hours, it really was dire straits, not only for standings, but the mental psyche of our club last week. I love to see it at this time of year, and I hope it goes right down to the very last game, the very last quarter of the 18th game of this season, and we pull it out then, because it will help us a couple weeks later when we hit the playoffs.
And on the Montreal bench, Rod Rust, who got a vote of confidence from GM Jim Popp after their 4th straight loss 1 week ago, but he said, eventually I'll pay the price if this team doesn't succeed. Wally Buono, of course, just 2 wins shy of moving into 2nd place all time. Wins by a regular season, in the regular season, with Frank Clare. Windy day here in the foothills. Chilly day for football. Feels like playoff time, Chris, as they set the tee up, and we'll have to hold on to this one for Mark McLaughlin. The Alouettes won the toss. They deferred. And we're underway. Pence has it, or rather Haskins, for the Alouettes, and he's hit early. Wow. Willie Fells comes out with a vengeance off the kickoff, Chris.
Nice job of getting downfield, staying in your lanes. You know that the Montreal returners are always dangerous when they get their hands on the football, but a nice job of going down there and laying the lick on them.
Jamie Barnett trying to learn the offense this week, almost like taking a drink from a fire hose, Chris.
Well, he's got Haskins and Hempel in the backfield with him. Receiving crew, Copeland and Climby, Cahoon and Davis, the wide receivers. Big offensive line, Chu, Flory, Verschoval, Okeke, and a slimmed down Neil Ford at the right tackle.
Barnett, number 2 all-time in the ACC conference in the USA in yards passing and offense. He'll go to the shovel pass early. Right away, though, he's brought down Haskins and Joe Fleming.
Well, Joe Fleming just does everything in the interior of that line. What a leader. Goes out there, doesn't believe we have any tape. You see Fleming, Traversy, Jacobs, Cotton at the defensive end. A good linebacking crew, Otis Floyd, Johnson, Willie Fells, and a secondary, Ferris, Barnes, and Bell, Fields and Pryor at the cornerback.
It's 2nd and 8, and not the situation a young quarterback wants to be in his opening drive of his first CFL start. Barnett in the shotgun formation, will move the pocket left, pressure, throws it up for grabs, nearly intercepted. William Fields diving for that football, and it was very close to being picked off.
Well, absolutely, but the biggest thing is you got to have pressure, and that's the first thing you want to do when you get a young quarterback in there, is get after him, rattle him a little bit, and they get great pressure up the middle. Joe Fleming coming right past his guy, gets his hands up, forces Barnett to throw off his back foot. A poor throw, Chris. And I tell you what, one of the biggest things, almost intercepted.
Throwing in the face of the rush, and immediately Barnett goes to the sidelines for some help.
Number 30, Joe Barnes. Number 6,
read this Calgary defense as Terry Baker stands at his own 20-yard line. Best average in the league at 46.9, and he gets a good one away. Down to the 22, Antonio Warren, the all-time leader this year in combined yards, with an 8-yard return after a 53-yard punt from Terry Baker.
I have to have some fun with this. I tell you what, I got a picture of myself here. I keep calling myself on the air.
Yeah, it's Mark. Marcus Crandall back after missing 5 weeks with a separated shoulder, and he led a big drive 1 week ago against Saskatchewan to win.
Well, the receiving crew, Peterson, Bo Richter, Danielson, Aubrey coming at the wideout. Big, heavy offensive line. Crysdale, McNeil, David, he's been back in his 2nd game. Childress and Ram at the tackle.
Crandall at his own 30-yard line. First down, Stampeders. They'll go on the ground. Kelvin Anderson with a good hole-off tackle. Hit hard. Anderson having a terrific season, leading the CFL in rushing yards right now. His 6th consecutive over 1,000 for a total of 1,272 coming into this game.
Well, the interesting thing is I want to see how it pans out as we look at the defensive line. Fleiser, Richards, Charbonneau, and Birch. The linebacker crew, Young, Reed, and Kelly Wiltshire. And, of course, the secondary anchored by the veteran Lester Smith, Hunter Washington, Durden, and Whitley, the rookies at cornerback.
2nd down and about 5 for the Stamps. Crandall looks like he'll run, he'll take off. First down territory as he slides across the 40-yard line.
Well, this is something, Mark, that he did so effectively against Saskatchewan last week. He made good decisions. He didn't try and force any of the situations. Nothing there. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up the first down, and a nice job of protecting himself also doing that baseball slide.
Chris, after separating his shoulder on Labor Day, he wasn't sure what to expect last week against Saskatchewan in his first return, but he got hit on the very first play. The shoulder felt good, and he went on, of course, to lead the win. Hand off to Anderson, up the gut, carrying a host of Alouette tacklers. Pets in on the tackle for Montreal. Both teams wearing their retro uniforms today as we celebrate the 50th season of the CFL on CBC. The Alouettes wearing jerseys from the 60s. The Stamps wearing, that was the jersey they wore in 1948 when they went to the Grey Cup for the first time. The pants, though, come from the 60s. The gold pants worn between 1961 and 1963. Second down and 7 at the 45. Crandall moves into the shotgun. He'll throw the hitch pass. It's complete. Peterson, Kamal Peterson, with a short gain of the play, and it looks like pretty close to the first down. No, it'll be a third down situation, Chris.
What a nice job of using the entire football field. He got all his yardage, use it. Little hitch pass, put it in Kamal Peterson's hands. They love him as an athlete. Wally Boito says this guy has got all the potential to be a future star in the CFL. Said he's not one yet, but he's got that keyword, potential.
Duncan O'Mahony, the rookie, punting for the Stampeders, ranked last in the CFL with a 41.9-yard average. Gets away a nice spiral. The Meko Archangel is back for the Alouettes, makes a move at the 20, looking for some daylight, making it on his own, gets outside the hash marks, and finally dragged down from behind. Archangel making a start, one of the new players in the lineup for the Alouettes today, and gives his young quarterback some decent field position when we come back.
I reject a lot of shoes before I find one I like. After all, not all shoes are created equal. It's not only the style, but also the fit that I look at. I figure that if it works for me, chances are it will work for you too. If, of course, you're a size 10.5. Just kidding.
Well made, well priced, well dressed. Moore's.
CFL on CBC, the road to the Grey Cup, brought to you by Dodge. Grab life by the horns.
All courtesy of
Jamie Barnett said he was shocked to learn he'd get the nod at starting quarterback this week after Dan Gonzalez had trouble the past 2 weeks subbing for Anthony Calvillo. I asked Jock Clammy, what advice as a veteran can you give to the young quarterback today?
It's always a fine line for an experienced player to know how and what to do to help a younger quarterback. You don't want to give them too much information. Sometimes it's like drinking out of a fire hydrant and nothing gets accomplished. At the same time, you don't want to just leave them to their own devices. You need to be able to sort of give them tips here and there.
And backs like Thomas Haskins can help take the pressure off Barnett. That 14-yard carry and a first down helps move the Sticks up to the 43-yard line of the Alouettes in a first down.
Well, you know Montreal's going to run the football, and they're going to continue running it no matter what happens. And that's a great way to start with Haskins busting off left tackle, picking up some nice yardage.
First down Alouettes. Barnett now behind his center. Chew. Hand off to Haskins again. Right side. Haskins running with authority here early in the football game. A gain of 4 yards on the first down carry.
Well, it's a nice job of also bringing the counter, and this is what they have to do to be successful. Haskins is not a power back, so they pull the backside guard and tackle. See Joe Fleming going to work across it. You can see there's 53. OKK coming around. He's going to pick up linebacker Willie Fells. Not before they pick up some nice yardage.
Haskins, of course, replacing Mike Pringle, still injured as Joe Fleming makes his presence felt. 10 sacks right the middle, up the gut. And number 3 in that category this year in the CFL. Barnett to throw across the field, intended for Thomas Haskins, and in and out of his hands for an incomplete pass. Johnson close on that one, Chris.
Well, I think Johnson was very close. I think he was so close that I think Haskins saw number 51 of the Stampeders and knew that if he had caught this football, it may be stretcher time. Just as he's about to pull that down, you can see number 51, A.J. Johnson, ready with the old clothesline to welcome Thomas Haskins.
Jamie Barnett goes to the sidelines. Another punting situation for Terry Baker, the 39-year-old veteran of this Alouette team. Into the sun. A wobbly punt aimed to the sidelines. Antonio Warren has it. Drops the ball. It's loose. Warren gets on it quickly as Andre Bolduc was right there and waiting for the Montreal Alouettes. A 44-yard punt and no return for the Stampeders.
43 yards for Terry Baker on the kick.
Use your Canadian Tire credit card when you run in, and you'll run out with 20% more Canadian Tire money on the card. It pays to use the card.
Attention, Calgary Stampeders Kids Club.
Chris, a close call at the 19-yard line for the Stampeders.
Well, you know that Antonio Warren is very capable of breaking every one that he touches, and he almost broke the backs there by dropping the football.
Yes, the all-purpose yards leader in the CFL. Shaky there. Play action. Crandall back to pass. Looking downfield for Bo Richter. It's incomplete and a little too far out of bounds. Torrey Hunter, though, had him covered like a blanket.
89, Bo Richter is incomplete.
Well, you can see just Antonio Warren looks that ball right into his hands. And one thing you got to remember, Chris, we talked about the weather.
That's 2 Chris's.
Well, we're going to have a whole pack of them in here later. But you know what? The ball gets slippery. It gets that sheen on it from the cold weather, and it is a lot harder to hang on to.
2nd and 10. Stampeders at their own 19-yard line. Mark Lee along with Chris Walby and Peter Rutgazer as we celebrate the 50th season of the CFL on CBC. Another pass, this time attempted for Kamal Peterson, and it's incomplete with Ricky Bell all over him.
Well, nice job of sitting back there, but good coverage, as you say. Kamal Peterson trying to come back to the football like a good receiver should. Good protection, just sits back in a pocket, delivers. Glenn Young getting in his face, but results not favorable for the Stampeders to continue, and Omani Azanda punt the football away.
Got himself in trouble against the Tiger Cats a couple of weeks ago, having one blocked in about this position on the field. This time lots of time, and he casually gets away a high punt. Archangel at his own 51. He's got some speed, tries to get outside, reverses field. Look at this man go. Archangel now down the sideline, finally pulled down, but there are flags on the play. The ball's loose, but it's been blown down. 39-yard punt and an 18-yard return, and Archangel looks like he may be shaken up.
Well, they're going to call a clipping against the Alouettes on the return, but as you say, the biggest concern right now is to see the health of Archangel as he lays on the football field.
There were 2 flags down, Chris. One early in the backfield.
And this would be a huge blow. We saw last week they had a newcomer, got his first start, Jeremy Rudolph. They really liked him.
Holding, Calgary 33 before the kick. Illegal block, Montreal 23. We're repeating 3rd down.
So Mark Washington of the Alouettes and Kelly Lockbaum both flagged on the play. Another look at it, Chris.
Well, he's just got such a great change of direction. The starts and the acceleration. That's what makes all great returners. And he gets in there, he gets down, and just as he stops to cut again, you can see the left knee buckle, and he goes down hard.
Rudolph left
Actually, he finished the game last week, but they determined he had cracked ribs against Toronto, and they've had 99 manned games lost to injury in Montreal this season. It has been a rash of hurts, including virtually every key skill player on offense.
Well, absolutely. Look at the list. I mean, Cavill, Pringle, Alexander, Irv Smith, Baron Miles, who hasn't played a game this year, Fillion, Tito Hanna. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, as you say, very unfortunate, but hopefully getting some of these key players back, Mark, and I think that's the big key. I mean, getting Cavill back, getting Pringle back. They know they're in the playoffs, but you can see right there, just the knee just buckles underneath, and that's one of the dangers of turf, artificial turf, is your feet. They wear these special turf shoes. It's like Stickum, it's like Velcro. It stops you suddenly, and sometimes the weight, the momentum of your body carries you forward, and the knee says he's got nowhere to go but buckle.
Chris, we were talking to Al's GM Jim Popp just before the game and inquiring about Anthony Calvillo and Mike Pringle, both still in difficulty. Calvillo with the torn rotator cuff in his left shoulder, but Pringle tried to practice this week on Tuesday and Wednesday and went out screaming in pain with that foot injury on Wednesday. We're back to Calgary after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome you.
Wow. We really struck a nerve out there. Apparently, some huge, probably nameless, isn't too happy with us for telling you you have a better choice. With Star Choice, you get a better television experience. More movies and sports, a better picture, Dolby sound. It's kind of a no-brainer. I guess I'd be nervous, too, if I was them. Remember, you have a choice. Star Choice. Call us right now.
Whoa, what's happening?
Something's wrong.
Yeah, we're getting shut down.
Decks and Fences can add value to your home and lifestyle. For premium hand-picked cedar, pressure-treated wood, and accessories, we can build it or offer do-it-yourself tips. Creative Decks and Fences, your one-stop shopping outdoor structure store. Winter, spring, summer, fall, Fairhall has it all. From furnaces to air quality, central air, and fireplaces, one-stop shopping, year-round comfort. For service you can depend on with extended hours to serve you better, call Fairhall. Service with a smile. Creative Decks and Fences, Fairhall Mechanical, members of the Greater Windsor Home Builders Association.
D'Amico Archangel surrounded by his teammates and in what looks like a lot of difficulty. He's played 4 games this season, but that left knee looks like it's been severely injured. A real loss for this Alouette team when you consider that in his career at Fayetteville State, Chris, he had 10 career touchdowns, but 4 of them on kickoff returns. He is a real weapon on special teams, but lost for this game, obviously.
Well, he is a game breaker, and very unfortunate, as you say, to see him go this week. Last week, they talked about Jeremy Rudolph, very exciting, fractured ribs. He's out.
And so they'll replay the punt. O'Mahony at his 6. Again, lots of time. A spiraling line drive over the head of Reggie Durden. He misjudged it. He goes back and gets it and is quickly brought down. Mark Pilon got his hands on him. A 55-yard punt and a 4-yard return as special teams continue to be hair-raising here in the first quarter.
Don't use the word hair-raising, Chris. It just upsets me. But you know what? You got to wonder here. I mean, he just misjudges this. I mean, he can't have this happen. This is a mistake. They were going to get great.
First down.
They would have got great field position. But Reggie Durden misplaced the ball. This ball goes over his head. As a result, they get pushed all the way back, and they're starting from their own 27-yard line when they could have been near center field.
Kelly Wilchar called for the illegal block on that return. The bobbled catch, and they're way back at the 28 as Anthony Calvillo holds the clipboard on the sideline. Dan Chochia, the offensive coordinator, moving up into the booth this afternoon for the Alouettes to help Barnett at quarterback. Straight back, lots of time. Downfield, high, and it's complete at the 50-yard line. Copeland, the rookie, goes up high to give the young quarterback some confidence and a first down.
Well, they really like Copeland. They say, you know what, he's starting to grasp the playbook. He hasn't got it all yet, but he is a big play receiver. In one game, he played in the World League. He had 19 catches in one game, so you know what he can do when he gets the football. But a big target goes up, works right in there. You can see Tyree Davis a little bit behind him. You wonder about that.
Copeland, the second leading receiver in the XFL last year with the LA Extreme and a first down. Flags are down again. Thomas Haskins hit hard right up the gut. Little or no gain on the play. And we'll see what the flags are here as they've been flying here in the first quarter. Haskins has had trouble on the ground, subbing for Pringle.
Offside, Montreal 80. Penalties declined. Second down. Second.
So another penalty and an offside this time to the Alouettes.
And you know, Mark, the only reason is that it's an offside, not a procedure, is he actually lines up offside. Another mental error.
So they'll decline the penalty, and it'll be second down and 10 yards. The Alouettes, who've yet to score a rushing touchdown since Mike Pringle left 4 weeks ago. Play action, hitch pass. It's complete to Tyree Davis. Davis with some blockers. Hit hard. Oh, had his legs cut out from under him by Kelly Malvo.
Well, what a nice job of taking the wheels out from under Tyree Davis by Malvo. Just submarines underneath their great stick. You love to see it. You can hear the contact all the way up here in the booth. That'll inspire the rest of your defensive teammates.
Malvo gets a stick right on the thigh of Davis, who is slow to get up. One of 4 ranked rookies in this secondary.
But all excellent athletes, and that's what you look for. You want to develop the youngsters in the backfield, as you say, and
Chris,
he's got some good ones.
Excuse me, Chris, they're short by about a yard, and they will go for it. 3rd and 1 at the 51. Barnett sneaking, and he's hit hard, driven back. This will be very close as we look at the placement. Where will they mark this ball? First down marker is just shy of the 49 of the Stampeders.
And that's a great job by the Stampeders to drive Barnett back and not allow him to keep working his feet.
I don't know if they've got the necessary inches.
Well, remember, when you're in this close, Mark, the biggest thing is it becomes the discretion of the referee to mark the football. And as you say, by the fact that they threw Barnett back.
Oh.
Enter the win at the gas store, which is at 1040 11th Avenue Southwest.
Just by the length of the football.
Sponsored by CHQR Radio, 10-Star Heating and Cooling Products, and the gas store.
So the young quarterback keeps this drive going into Calgary territory. Barnett has been good on 3 of 5 attempts so far.
It is
33 yards.
The Calgary
Up behind Brian Chu at center. Jamie Barnett with 1 week practicing first string at quarterback. Eric Lapointe has daylight, breaks through, and finally hogtied at the Calgary 25-yard line. The young man out of Mount Allison University who will get the ball as both Haskins and Lapointe try to make up for the loss of Mike Pringle. That time a 25-yard gain by Lapointe.
Well, they just love that play. It's just a reach block, a search running play. By that I mean Lapointe will get the ball deep and search for the hole, and he just hits it full tilt. And a nice job of the left side. OKK and Virchville opening up a beautiful hole for Lapointe to run through.
Alouettes marching here late in the first quarter. Barnett will hand off to Lapointe again. Almost the same play, left tackle. This time, Calgary smelled that one. Gain of about 3 on the play, Chris. 2nd and 7.
Comeback this time, but as you say, nice job. Ray Jacobs, Otis Floyd, stopping at the point of attack, limiting the gain to a couple yards. But you know, this Calgary defense is very tough to run against, and you're not going to beat them with the same play many times in a row. And as you say, after getting beat the play previous by Lapointe, they tightened up considerably in stopping Lapointe.
7th play of this Alouette drive, threatening for the first time in this football game. Nothing. Calgary, Montreal, and confusion now as Barnett calls a timeout. Mike Roach, the defensive coordinator, telling us they're going to try to mix up their looks and confuse Barnett, make him hold the ball longer in passing situations.
Well, absolutely. But what I like is, you know, the composure and the smartness of this youngster, Jamie Barnett, right here, calling a timeout. Because of the fact of why waste or put yourself in a situation of trying to force a play to work and have something terrible go against you. So, I mean, this is a good thing. Walks the sideline, confers with the coaches, confers with Cavill, make sure you're all on the same page.
It's Daniel McKinnon, the receivers coach, who usually is upstairs, but he's come to the sidelines today as Dan Machochia goes upstairs, the offensive coordinator. Far side, having a swig there from his coat cup, wearing the hat, calling the plays. 2nd down and 9. Barnett back to pass. Time, hit from behind and sacked hard. James Cotton with a blindside sack of Jamie Barnett.
Well, they just love James Cotton here in Cowtown. I mean, number 99. Now remember, number 99 of years past, the legendary John Helton, so that's a great number first off, but he just does a great job of beating an excellent offensive lineman in himself. And Uzuma Okeke just beats him flat out around the corner, lowers the shoulder, gets a sack, a nice play by him. And here's a guy, James Cotton, who had 2 quarterback sacks against this Montreal offensive line the first time they met back in July.
Baker attempting this field goal from the 36. He leads the league with an 83.7% completion rate, and this one is right between the uprights. So Baker puts the Alouettes on the scoreboard first. It's 3-0 here in Calgary.
Champ. I know kids who got hurt playing around machines and traffic. Now I warn everyone to play safe.
Thanks. Hey, you feel like tossing the ball around?
Sure. I got some help from the Stampeders.
CFL is a proud supporter of the Play Safe program.
Wherever game you play,
play safe.
Play safe.
Time at Bank made investing smarter and simpler. That's why our in-branch accredited advisors recommend a wide range of mutual funds that are right for you, both from us and other mutual fund companies, to ultimately get you what you're looking for. Wiser investment choices. A smart, simple solution. CIBC. It's time.
Back in Calgary, Stampeder D-line coach Jim Daly diagramming some plays for his linemen as the Alouettes were running rampant on that last drive, a 7-play drive that traveled 53 yards and ended in that 36-yard field goal by Terry Baker. Stampeders first and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Handoff up the gut. Kelvin Anderson, but it's slow going. A gain of about 3 on the play. Let's go to the sidelines, and here's Peter.
Yes, Archangel just taken off the field. It looks like it's torn ligaments to the left knee. He's going to be taken to the hospital. They're going to do some x-rays, and then we'll find out, confirm the injury for you a little bit later on.
So Archangel this week, Jeremy Rudolph last week with fractured ribs, and the injury spree continues for these Montreal Alouettes. Stampeders struggling on offense, just 1 first down so far in this football game. Crandall back to pass, throwing across the middle. Aubrey Cummings in traffic, has it at center field. What a catch!
Absolutely, what a great job by Aubrey Cummings. Reggie Durden, Lester Smith, all over him. There's no way the number 87 should come down with this catch. Nice job of protection. Crandall throws the ball up, but look, I mean, Wiltshire's there, Durden's there. They get their hands on the football. Lester Smith takes them down. still hangs on to the football.
Stampeders get their second first down on a big one, a 16-yard gain to center field. On the ground, play action now. Crandall will run, but is hit right at the line of scrimmage for a gain of 1, maybe 2 yards on the play. Seemed to have lots of time rolling out there, Chris, but pulled it down quickly.
Well, what he saw, he was rolling out to the right, and he saw the middle linebacker, Glenn Young, go to the outside to prevent him to get to the outside. Thought he had an opportunity to cut it back inside. Just going to roll around. Now, as he goes around, there's Glenn Young right there, and he comes back in.
Second and 9.
Nice job.
Second and 9 for Crandall and the Stampeders. Here comes the blitz. Crandall rushed, gets it away. Vince Danielson, the big target, very close to a first down, right at the 45. Danielson with 3 big catches in his return last week for 3 first downs, critical first downs against Saskatchewan.
Well, nice job of getting the ball. Danielson's waving for the football. He knows he's open and the pressure's on. Jason Richards putting the heat on Crandall, throws the ball. Nice timing pattern. And of course, that's where the experience of having a veteran like Danielson helps out this offense.
Stamp's got a bad spot, Chris. Danielson was across the 45 when he made the catch, then driven back on the tackle, and they will spot it shy of the 45-yard line. Wano excited to see the big slot back in the lineup, especially when you consider Travis Moore, their leading receiver, is gone at least for the regular season with a dislocated toe in his right foot. So it is short of the first down. 3rd and inches. Stampeders will gamble. High formation backfield. They'll move up. Crandall will sneak and have the first down for Calgary.
First down, Stampeders.
Nice job of just tucking behind that big offensive lineman. Jamie Crysdale, David Heisman, second game back. I mean, these are big boys, 6'5", 340 pounds. Good leg drive. They push the pile back, and as a result of the surge, Marcus Crandall picks up the first down. Just going to tuck in behind. Everybody's getting tight. Go right behind there, and that's a nice job of push by that offensive line of the Stampeders.
First down, Calgary, across the 45 of Montreal. Handoff. Antonio Warren up the middle, rumbling.
Warren, the ball carrier, close to the 5-yard line.
Gain of close to 6 on the play, as Warren and Kelvin Anderson alternate carrying the mail in the backfield for Calgary.
Well, what an exciting rookie Antonio Warren is. I mean, second year, but he didn't play last year at all, so he's still considered a rookie.
Well, and it's good to have a guy like him when you consider that Kelvin Anderson is playing in his 22nd game because he was involved in the XFL this season.
Absolutely. A lot of wear and tear on your body.
Second down and 5. Last play of the opening quarter. Crandall back to pass. Pressure. Gets it away. It's complete. Loud has it.
Marcus Crandall throws complete.
Camille Loud, the rookie out of Cal Poly, with a huge first down catch for the Stampeders to end the opening quarter as they gain some momentum, down 3-0 to Barnett and the Owls.
Sunday is Kids Day at McDonald's. That's because a delicious hamburger Happy Meal is now just $1.99. Hamburger Happy Meals, only $1.99 on Sundays.
There's a little McDonald's in everyone.
To save his family, this vet will have to pretend to be an FBI agent.
Sorry.
Courtney Romano.
You guys want some cookies?
Now playing. The CFL on CBC, the road to the Grey Cup. Brought to you by Dodge. Grab life by the horns.
Back at McMahon Stadium in Calgary, the Stampeders threatening but down by 3. Marcus Crandall playing in this game and this season, Chris, with something to prove.
People wondered, I guess, going into the season if I was able to step in and be a starting quarterback for any team. And so that was a goal for me, to come out and prove that I can be a starting quarterback in this league and in the league.
Right now, Crandall, 4 of 6 for 41 yards through the air. The Stampeders in those retro uniforms along with the Alouettes as we celebrate our 50th season of the CFL on CBC. They wore those jerseys in 1948 in the Grey Cup game. The Als, of course, wearing the colors of the 1960s. It is first down. Calgary at the Montreal 25. Play action. Wide side and thrown away. Scott Regimbald was the nearest receiver on the play. Crandall made his reads and then got rid of it.
Well, you can take a look at the first quarter stats. You can see first downs are equal. Time of possession virtually equal. Net yards virtually equal. It's been one of those games. They're both moving the ball. Right now, the only difference being a field goal by Terry Baker.
George Cortez talking with Wally Buono. The offensive coordinator, Cortez, calls the plays for Crandall and the Stampeders. 2nd and 10. Crandall bobbles the shotgun. In trouble. Gets it away. Incomplete. Again intended for the rookie, Camille Lau, who is in his 3rd start, subbing for the injured Travis Moore.
Well, they run a 6-pack. 6 receivers out, nobody in the backfield. Trying to get one-on-one coverage. Look for a matchup. He's got good protection. He just comes back, steps inside the rush of Rock Richards and throws the ball, but nice job of coverage and getting a hand on that football by the safety, Lester Smith.
So it's a field goal situation for the Stampeders. Mark McLaughlin will tee this one up at the 32-yard line. Good on 30 of 42 this year. His longest from 45. Well within his range with the wind at his back. Ball down. McLaughlin hits it hard, and it's good. So field goal for field goal, and we're tied at 3 here early in the 2nd quarter. And Chris, we've been talking about these retro uniforms. The players will sign their jerseys after this football game, and 5 from each of Montreal and Calgary will be auctioned off on the website of the CFL, cfl.ca. The rest will go to charities to auction off to raise money.
Well, I think it's phenomenal. I mean, I love these jerseys. I look at the Calgary uniforms with the stripes on the shoulders, and it's exciting because obviously there's no names on the back of the jerseys because of the fact that the stripes are there. We also know there's a couple jerseys being sent down care of San Francisco and a couple to San Diego to a couple famous guys that played here.
Doug Flutie and Jeff Garcia will each get 2 to sign. And if you'd like to get a hold of one of these jerseys, you can go to our website right now, cbc.ca or the cfl.ca, and put your bid in right now. Alouettes go back on offense. Haskins takes the handoff right side. And again, it's tough going, Chris, outside the tackle.
But you know they're never going to give up on the running game. It's just a counter again. Just going to pull the backside right here. These 2 guys are going to pull. Verschoval and Okeke going to go around the corner right now, trying to find an opening for Thomas Haskins, but James Cott, number 99, there with the rest of the Stampeder defense, slowing him down after a 2-yard gain.
Haskins averaging just under 5 yards a carry, is 4th for a total of 19 yards. But as we mentioned, Montreal's running game has suffered with the injury to Mike Brown. Barnett has to pass across the middle. It's complete to Ben Cahoon, and he's dropped in his tracks.
Well, Otis Floyd just lays a licking on him right now. We've seen some incredible high-velocity pops already, Mark. I mean, you know that this game, you mentioned it early, every game now is a playoff game. It has such serious implications to where you are, and if you can finish and get into that postseason.
Brilliant open field tackle by Otis Floyd. Stops Cahoon short of the first down by 1 yard.
Well, it's tackles like that that give you the momentum. I mean, it forces Montreal to a kicking situation, not allowing Ben Cahoon to try and fight for extra yardage. It would allow maybe the drive to stay alive.
Baker will punt
block from Bo Richter. Gets outside, but there's no more room to go. A 46-yard punt from Terry Baker, and only a 6-yard return for number 6 of the Stampeders. A field goal apiece here in the first half.
You don't have to have a lot of money to appreciate great taste. Come in for Harvey's great tasting value menu, 99 cents to $1.59. Real, big taste. Harvey's.
Discover the most amazing digital music and video with the Intel Pentium 4 processor, the center of your digital world.
You don't have to have a lot of money to appreciate great taste. Come in for Harvey's great tasting value menu, 99 cents to $1.59. Real, big taste. Harvey's.
Together in Caring is an ongoing local success story. We are in the completion phase of a $40 million hospital fundraising campaign to support building centers of excellence. You can see the difference already at Hotel Dieu Grace, Leamington District Memorial, and Windsor Regional Hospitals. But we still have some work left to do.
We believe in Together in Caring. Please help us reach our goal.
Together in Caring, building better hospitals.
1st and 10. Flutie out of the shotgun. For Pitts, touchdown!
Don Whitman with the call as we flash back to the 1992 Grey Cup at the Sky Dome in Toronto as part of our 50th season of CFL on CBC celebration. And the Alouettes stumbling on the ground. Chris, you were in that big football
I was just going to say, do you have to bring back? I was looking for some Kleenex up here because tears were welling in my eyes. Doug Flutie, of course, beating us in that Grey Cup game, 24-10.
Yeah. Wally Bono's first Grey Cup of 2, avenging that defeat in '91 to the Rocket and the Argos. The gain is -2 on the play, a loss by Kelvin Anderson. So a 2nd and 12 situation. Deep in the own zone for Calgary. Crandall throwing downfield. Bo Richter wide open. He's got it at center field. And finally hauled out of bounds by Reggie Durton, the rookie corner. Bo Richter, who had a season-high 5 catches for 139 yards last week against Saskatchewan. And a big target there.
Well, nice job of Crandall seeing the blitz. Washington 23 going to come on, but Bo Richter just working on Reggie Durton. Little arm over, and that's one of the things that benefits of being a tall receiver, working against a shorter defender. He swims him, does a nice job of getting into the open field. The ball is laid right on right over the shoulder, where only Bo Richter can catch it. Just a nice job of execution by the Calgary offense.
Bo Richter with his first catch of the football game. As Crandall has used 5 receivers so far in 5 completions. Anderson looking for a hole, negotiating the defensive line. It's strung right out along the line of scrimmage. Maybe another loss, Chris.
Well, you know, one of the things that I was looking forward to today, Mark, was the fact of watching the #1 running offense against the #2 run defense of the Alouettes. And boy, there's really been some battles there today. As you see Anderson looking for something, but nothing there as the door is shut.
No, 5 carries, only 10 yards for the league's leading rusher, looking to snap Mike Pringle's 4-year hold as the #1 rusher in the CFL. 2nd and 11, loss of 1. Crandall deep, back, time, he'll take off. Chased by Charbonneau. Eludes him and slides for a first down, Calgary.
Savvy. Boy, I tell you, you just got to love what Crandall sees here. They're only rushing 4. They're dropping everybody else. As a result, the defensive linemen get pushed to the outside. Charbonneau to the outside, Belly to the outside. As a result, he's got nothing but opening. Tucks the ball down. Nice job of picking it up and sliding for the first down.
Gain of 14 yards as the quarterback pulls it down. First down, Stampeders. Crandall complete to Bo Richter. Bo Richter around the outside, and another Calgary first down. As he fends the Flames here in Calgary, and the Stampeders have their first lethal drive.
Just a straight hitch pass, put it in the hands of Bo Richter. The big man gets to the outside. Nice job of blocking by the rest of the receivers. Aubrey coming up there, springing the big man to the outside, and another first down.
15-yard gain for Bo Richter. That's 55 yards on 2 catches for the big slot back. First down, Stampeders at the 19 of Montreal. Crandall back to pass. Lots of time. Antonio Warren has it out of the backfield. Then he's drilled. Torrey Hunter and Kelly Wiltshire in on the tackle for the Alouettes.
Alouettes number 9, Torrey Hunter made the tackle.
Right at the 15. Gain of about 4 yards for Calgary.
Well, Crown just a little roll to the right side, set behind the right side, guard and tackle. Throws a little dump pass to Antonio Warren, but a nice job of coverage by Torrey Hunter right there, closing the gap as soon as he catches it and bringing him down.
2nd and 6 in the red zone. The Stampeders are shotgun formation. It's a quarterback draw. Diving for the 10-yard line, but short of the first down. Marcus Crandall. That was a called play right from the get-go. It'll be 3rd down and about 2 as the fans begin to call the Stamps to go for it.
Have you been in any other stadium in the world that doesn't want your offense, as they're moving the ball so successfully right now, to go for it on 3rd down?
Nope. Here comes the field goal unit, and here come the boos.
Absolutely. They've been moving it. Again, a pre-planned call, a set call. Crandall sees the defensive front, doesn't check out of the quarterback draw, takes a step back as if he's going to drop back and throw it, and tries to pick up the necessary yardage, coming up a little short. And as a result, the Boo Birds come out as McLaughlin attempts a 22-yard field goal.
It'll be about the 17, Chris, as they spot this one. Puts it up. And it's good. His 2nd field goal of the game as the Stampeders stall, but move ahead by 3 here in the 2nd quarter.
Johnson, I'd like to see some ideas on saving the company money. I'll be back first thing in the morning.
Think. That's the dumbest! Drink. Help!
Well, Johnson, Staples Business Depot. That'll save us a lot of money. You are a genius.
Look for great savings like these verbatim mini CDRs. Staples Business Depot, Best Buys and office supplies.
It sounded like there was no hope. Rick Quinn was told he had inoperable cancer. He was offered pain pills to help him die peacefully. That was no option for Rick Quinn.
This has been a wonderful 6 months, but I'm dying of cancer. How can this be a wonderful 6 months? I have made something of that 6 months.
Watch Canada Now as we begin a series about Rick Quinn. From trying an alternative treatment to the obstacles he faces living with cancer. That begins Tuesday on CBC television.
NWin Power Lines is your proven electric utility, and we're constantly seeking ways to improve service. Now, all customers will be billed monthly. Monthly billing provides cost savings to NWin, and that means savings for you, our customer. NWin, as a community-owned utility, is committed to the highest level of service and reliability at the lowest price. For more information, log on to nwin.com. NWin Power Lines, always there, always ready.
Coming up this evening on Hockey Night in Canada, Game 1 has Matt Sundin and the Leafs against the Flames right here in Calgary. And that will be followed by Florida's Panthers in Edmonton to skate against the Oilers. That'll be interesting as Bure goes toe-to-toe with Ryan Smith. It all begins with Labatt Saturday night at 6:30 Eastern. 7:55 to go in the opening half. Barnett at quarterback, downfield, looking for Climby. And it's short and incomplete as the veteran Climby desperately tried to fall to the turf to save that one, but not in time.
And Joe Barnes, number 30, had the coverage.
Let's go down to the sidelines on the Montreal bench. Peter Rutgazer.
You know, the Owls are really looking out for rookie quarterback Jamie Burnett. Ben Cahoon has been talking to him constantly, as has Danny Gonzalez, but more importantly, Anthony Calvillo sat down with him just a few minutes ago, went over some things, so just to make him feel comfortable, so they're not going to let this guy hang up to dry here against Calgary.
One of the Alouettes tell us before the game what was the difference between Gonzalez off the bench looking good in Hamilton and not so good in 2 starts. A week of everybody trying to mess with his head, he said. That pass incomplete, intended for Copeland, the rookie. He should have had it, Chris.
But you're absolutely right, because anybody that's ever been in an offensive huddle, you have linemen talking because they all want to run the football. You've got receivers talking because they all think they're open. And he's got his own play selection in his mind as a coach is setting the play. So look at all the things that are coming in there that could be major distractions. Of course, now he's going to the bench, and as you say, Cavillo's talking to him, the offensive coordinator's talking to him, the coach is talking to him. I mean, there's a lot of things. It's like bees just spinning around that man's head.
It's like Jock Clemmy said, he's trying to take a gulp from a fire hydrant. This will be the 4th punt of the day for Terry Baker. Montreal has been 0-5 in second down situations. Baker, lots of time. Warren stands at his own 36, goes straight up the hash marks, and then is met by a host of Alouette tacklers. A 39-yard punt into the wind by Terry Baker, and just a 5-yard return from Antonio Warren. Stampeders go back on offense when we come back.
And 4 yards on the return.
The time has come to witness the power of one.
Freeze!
From the director of Final Destination, on November 2nd.
There's only one place he could be going.
One man bend reality to control the universe.
There's never been anything like what I have become.
Jet Li, the One. Opens November 2nd.
The Lung Association's 10th Anniversary Chili Fest 2001 will take place Wednesday, November 7th from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Windsor Armory. Come on out and taste chili from 40 of the area's finest eating establishments. Now, some of these recipes are so hot, the firefighters had to be called in to serve you. Tickets are $6 in advance and $7 at the door. For more information, call 256-3433. Come on out and chow down some chili for charity.
Christmas is a special time of year at Brisbois Christian Bookstore and Gift Shop, with a selection of nativity scenes that come in a variety of textures and sizes. Pick out that special touch for your Christmas celebration, from the designer Fontanini collection to the limited edition Seraphim Classics. And don't forget, life is always filled with precious moments. Books, CDs, and cassettes make great stocking stuffers. Maybe a thoughtful card for a loved one, a tree ornament, or a treasured gold cross or medal for someone special.
From our family to your family,
have a blessed Christmas.
Back at McMahon Stadium in Calgary as we celebrate our 50th season of the CFL on CBC, and for the 17th game in a row, a crowd in excess of 30,000 here in Calgary. Stampeders have been inside the Montreal 25 twice in this football game and come away with field goals. A long field here today to start this drive. It's complete. And another first down as Vince Danielson gets his meat hooks on that one and moves the ball across center field.
Well, just the ability to read the defense, to find out where you have to sit down. Runs hard. This is the biggest thing about Vince Danielson. His hamstring was giving him so much trouble. He played early in the season, and it was bothering him, and he couldn't push off strong off the line of scrimmage. You could just see him right now. He is really coming off that line.
And a good read by him to push off of Mark Washington, who was trying to chuck him about 7 yards downfield. Stamps moving the ball on offense. Handoff, Anderson. Jumping, hurdling, and across the 45-yard line on first down. Mark Washington, the leading tackler on this Alouette defense, puts the grasp on him.
Well, just going to run a little left-off tackle, but they also have a little trick play off the top of that, as they have Mark Boerichter coming around, so they have the option of giving it to Anderson or tossing it to Mark Boerichter on a reverse.
Kelvin Anderson moving up the charts in the rushing department in the CFL. for 6 straight years of over 1,000. Hit hard right at the line of scrimmage. Big Steve Charbonneau, who will feature at halftime. Helping on the tackle, Tim Fleiser, the former Grey Cup champion with the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Well, absolutely. Tim Fleiser, there he is. I mean, he just flies through this, right through the block and meets Calvin Anderson just as he gets the football. That's a nice job, and we've seen some good things. Charbonneau, we've seen Fleiser, Jason Richards, all getting good penetration on a real tough offensive line of the Calgary Stampeders.
You see a field goal attempt, the 3rd of the day for Mark McLaughlin. And they will spot this one at the 52-yard line. So this will be the longest attempt of the season for McLaughlin, who's gone over 45, his longest so far. Barnes with the spot. It's a line drive, and it's good. Mark McLaughlin from 52 yards out, his longest of the season, his 3rd of the game.
Pizza! In my family, if one wants pizza, the other wants Chinese. Even their stomachs don't agree. If one gets indigestion, the other one gets heartburn. If one gets nausea, the other one gets... well, so I get Pepto-Bismol. As it coats, it relieves heartburn, indigestion, upset stomachs, nausea, and diarrhea. It's like a first aid kit for stomachs. Agree?
Agree.
Pepto-Bismol, first aid relief for heartburn, diarrhea, nausea, indigestion, and upset stomachs.
Mark McLaughlin simply perfect this afternoon, 3 for 3 in field goals, spotting Calgary to a 9-3 lead here in the opening half. Alouettes, last 2 drives, 2 and out. What can they get going this time? Haskins with not much room to run off the right tackle. Alondra Jansen in on the tackle for the Stampeders as the Montreal ground game continues to struggle.
Well, both defenses are really playing inspired football right now, filling the gaps, and a lot of it is gap control and allowing the linebackers to fill the holes. AJ, Alondra Johnson does a nice job of getting in there, and as you say, stopping Haskins short after a 1-yard gain.
Alondra Johnson continues to play with youth. 14th season in the CFL, says Chris. He's cleaned up his life. No more drinking, no more partying. He's a family man, and it's showing on the field. This pass at the 50, intended for Cahoon. He's got it. The Stamps say it's incomplete, but the officials will mark it as a catch at the 49-yard line. There's still some conjecture, though, as the Alouettes and Stampeders surround the officials who conference at the 49.
Well, Copeland's just going to clear the area. Cahoon's just going to sit down in the area. Jimmy Barnett's going to throw the ball. Got it right there, but a nice job of the defender actually pushing the ball. William Fields pushing the ball down, and it actually hits the turf. You can just see he gets his hand in there, and the ball hits the turf as he tries to cradle it in there.
Look at it here from the reverse angle, and you can see the tip of the ball hit the turf, and they have waved it off here, Chris. A good call, incomplete. And so for the 3rd series in a row, it's 2 and out for the Alouettes. Terry Baker gets a workout here in the first half. 5th punt of the game. To return this punt for the Stampeders, and it is Loud looking into the sun. He's got it at the 25. Gets a block across the 40. Flags fly. Loud in open field. One man to beat. Baker. Oh, and a shoestring tackle from behind. Holds the rookie down at the 35. William Loftus, the 4-year veteran out of the University of Manitoba, with the tackle. A 49-yard punt from Terry Baker and a 49-yard return, but it's coming back. There are flags down, Chris.
Well, I think there's no question about it. When the Calgary offense comes on the football field,
illegal block. Calgary number 36. First down.
Lawrence Deck, the rookie out of Fresno State, kills a 49-yard electrifying return by Loud.
Well, I think they must have all saw it on the Calgary Stampeders bench, because they started walking to the short end of the field on their own side.
There it is,
just see right there. There it is right there. He's got a nice job of getting right in the back there. Referee Johnny Espot throws the flag, but boy, that's a killer after an excellent return by Camille Loud.
So tough field position. First down at their own 25, the Stampeders. They'll go on the ground again. Anderson this time negotiating a decent gain on first down. Coming into that one, he had only 16 yards on 7 carries, Chris. The gain will be 4. 2nd and 6 for Marcus Crandall and the Stampeders when we come back.
CBC radio listeners, share the experience.
Paul's great. He's just a real friendly voice to hear in the morning. It's like family. It's like someone you trust with the information they're providing.
Paul is I find him very honest. He's also very relaxed on the radio. It almost sounds like there's somebody sitting beside you in the passenger seat chatting away.
It's your radio station. Get the most from it.
You don't have to have a lot of money to appreciate great taste. Come in for Harvey's great tasting value menu, 99 cents to $1.59. Real, big taste. Harvey's.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Does it come with a monkey?
Join host Mike Bullard for a celebration of the best in television.
Leave a little room there for when the Viagra kicks in, all right? What do you think, boys?
The Gemini Awards, Monday, October 29th on CBC.
Wow. We really struck a nerve out there. Apparently, some huge, probably nameless, isn't too happy with us for telling you you have a better choice. With Star Choice, you get a better television experience. More movies and sports, a better picture, Dolby sound. It's kind of a no-brainer. I guess I'd be nervous, too, if I was them. Remember, you have a choice. Star Choice. Call us right now.
Whoa, what's happening?
Something's wrong.
Yeah, we're getting shut down.
Welcome back to McMahon Stadium. CFL on CBC. Coming up at the half, we'll have the Standard Life Heroes of the CFL featuring the Al Steve Charbonneau. Don Whitman comes along with his CFL scrapbook, and then the big man, Mark, will have first half highlights. Back up to you, Mark and Chris.
Thanks, Peter. The Stampeders with field goals in their last 3 drives. 2nd and 6. Shotgun formation. Flags on the play now. Crandall complete to Peterson. Breaks a tackle. Still going. Finally hauled down across the 50 as he eluded Torrey Hunter at full speed. Glenn Young makes the tackle for Montreal on the rookie. But there are flags, and the Alouettes are pointing to take it back.
Offside. Calgary 89. 2nd down repeated.
Bo Richter offside at the slot position, squelching a 21-yard pickup by Kamal Peterson. So they'll move the ball back to the 19-yard line, and it'll be a deep 2nd and long situation. This was the scene just moments ago on the Montreal sideline. Jamie Barnett, the 3rd-string starter, alone with his thoughts. The Montreal bench doesn't look good. Back to pass, Crandall with time. Evades Charbonneau. Here comes Mark Washington, who makes the tackle at the 30, holding the quarterback to a 7-yard gain and forcing Calgary into a punt situation.
Well, that's a situation that he does so well. I mean, he won't force a situation. That's how he's matured as a quarterback. Crandall sees there's nothing downfield, so he'll tuck it and get the rest with his athletic ability. Slides as you see Mark Washington taking him down, but he doesn't create situations where the Montreal defense could maybe pick off a pass and create something for their offense, because right now Montreal, if they're a battery, they're dead.
The UBC rookie Mark, or rather Duncan O'Malley, gets a nice spiraling drive deep. Tyree Davis, the lone man back for the Alouettes, breaks one tackle, still going across the 40. Finally, gang tackled on the play for a 15-yard return, and great field position for his young quarterback as Montreal goes on offense.
14-yard return on the punt.
Use your Canadian Tire credit card when you run in, and you'll run out with 20% more Canadian Tire money on the card. It pays to use the card.
All field goals all the time so far, Chris.
Well, I think the guy that's getting the most action on the Montreal side of the field is Terry Baker punting the football. And this offense is not being productive.
Last 3 possessions for the Alouettes have been 2 plays and out against the wind. Barnett is said to have a powerful throwing arm. Play action. They go to the hitch pass. Haskins hit hard as he crosses the 45. Alondra Johnson, the 14-year veteran, making the tackle for Calgary. A gain of close to 6 yards on the play. As Dan Gonzalez, the number 2 quarterback who had the last 2 starts, stands and tries to keep warm on the Montreal bench. A prototype NFL pocket passer, had trouble making downfield reads in the last 2 games. Chris, against Saskatchewan and Toronto, threw 4 interceptions last week, and hence the start for 3rd stringer Jamie Barnett. Shotgun, looking, still has the ball. How did he get out of that sack? Gets it away, but it's way short of Jermaine Copeland. And the Stampeders, Jeff Traversy thought he had a scalp.
Well, the game initially, he had good time, good protection, but eventually the pressure's going to get to him. 94, Jeff Traversy's going to work around, gets there. By all rights, should have had the quarterback sack. Jamie Barnett gets to the outside, but then a very weak throw in the attempt to try and throw the football and find the receiver, Jermaine Copeland, downfield, but the ball almost floats out of his hands. And we talked about the strength of his arm earlier, Mark, and he really hasn't exhibited any of those qualities yet.
Baker again with a strong leg. They've needed that this afternoon. Montreal has. Into the wind, a good punt, pushing Warren back to his own 17-yard line, and the punt cover of the Alouettes hems him in right there for a gain of only 5 on a 45-yard punt into the wind. The Alouettes, nothing to show, 0-6 on 2nd down conversions as Crandall goes back to work for Calgary.
Well, it's a situation they're really going to have to sit at halftime, get with the coaches from Montreal, and just figure out what they got to do. And I think the Cavillos really got to get involved in this. You can see Jock Climby trying to give his leadership, his ideas out there, what might work offensively, because right now they're stagnant, nothing's working, and they've got to fix it up, because Calgary seems to at least be moving the football down to put them in field goal range and getting those at least some points.
Crandall completing his last 4 passes. He's 8 for 12 so far for 117. Going deep downfield, down the sideline. Bo Richter in the neighborhood along with Peterson, but neither one of the receivers could get their hands on that one.
Well, neither one could get their hands on the ball, but great coverage by Mark Washington. Lester Smith coming over from the safety position to help out. You can see him coming across right there. Just a good job of coverage all around. James Whitley, 26, working on Kamal Peterson.
Bo Richter seemed to break off his route. He stopped running, then turned it on again. The ball sailed over his head. So it's 2nd and 10, Calgary. Ball on their own 25. 6 receivers. Crandall down the middle. It's complete to Kamal Peterson, still on his feet, and 1st down territory for the Stampeders as Wiltshire cannot bring him to the ground. Stephen Reed made first contact for the Alouettes. A 15-yard gain, Chris.
What a nice job, as you say, Mark, of clearing out 6 receivers. They work so well together. The purpose is that you may have to run a decoy route. You may not be the primary receiver, but you've got to clear the area. That allows Kamal Peterson to work against Stefan Reed, and nice catch by him.
Back to the air, downfield again. Wide open, Bo Richter at the 30, and there's no one to chase him. Touchdown, Calgary. Crandall to Bo Richter, and a 70-yard long bomb on the first touchdown of the football game.
Well, I tell you what, there's definitely a mix-up in the secondary of the Alouettes. Mark Washington with the coverage, but he doesn't. You see, he just bumps him up. There's Durden. Nobody picks him up. 23. Mark Washington is the last one to see Mark Bo Richter run behind him. And as you say, the end result, a 70-yard touchdown. But again, another crucial big play that has been haunting this Montreal defense.
Bo Richter with his 11th touchdown of the season. Leading all Calgary Stampeders as Mark McLaughlin gets set with the point after. It's a mere formality, and the Stampeders open a 16-3 lead with 1 minute to go in the first half. Bo Richter, some say, Chris, will get NFL attention next season.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, but it all started by having a six-pack and having Kamal Peterson with a nice catch over the middle, and obviously a defensive breakdown and a wide open open. Bo Richter behind coverage and a 70-yard run to the end zone.
Bo Richter with that catch now has 3 for 125 yards and a touchdown. Remember last week against Saskatchewan, he had 5 for 139. So clearly a big target inside for Marcus Crandall and really making up for the loss of Travis Moore.
Well, obviously, also 7 touchdowns in the last 4 games, so he's on fire right now. And, you know, you talk about guys like Danielson, there you see Durden and Mark Washington talk, as you see a happy Bo Richter there with the hat on.
Washington, who is the #1 DB and tackler, talking to the rookie Durden, number 30, who has a lot of responsibility. We mentioned off the top of the broadcast, rookies on both corners as Rod Rust, who doubles as the defensive coordinator, goes in to have a word.
Well, he's got to get involved with this because we've seen this happen too many times the past couple of weeks, Mark, and you can see Washington's trying to explain to Durden, you can't do that. Somebody's got to take him. You're putting me in a bad spot. I can't cover him. He's behind me like that.
Haskins at his own 12. Makes the catch on this kickoff return. Cuts upfield. Breaks a tackle. Finally pulled down after he crosses the 35-yard line. Aldi Henry in on the tackle, along with Scott Dybert. A 63-yard kickoff and a 30-yard return for Haskins.
Well, good field position, Mark. I mean, that's a nice thing. I mean, they're not starting deep in their own end, but they just can't seem to get anything clicking on offense, and as a result, Baker has to keep coming on and keep kicking the ball away, allowing Calgary to get more confidence with each of their offense possessions.
Barnett gets the call. Daniel McKinnon, the receivers coach, on the sideline. Gonzalez in the ring. When might we see him? Hardly any offense at all by this Montreal football team, with the third stringer struggling in the first half. Lots of time. Trouble making reads. Tries to bail out. Ball's loose. Recovered by Scott Flory of the Alouettes after that offensive line had given Barnett lots of time to make his read.
Well, he's got to make his reads. He's got to find the guy. He's got to find quickly. That's what it's about. Look at Tyree Davis, 84. Now he's going to be working one-on-one against Pryor. He's wide open now. He wants the football. He can't believe he's not seeing him right now. Of course, what happens on the other end with the quarterback? The quarterback's sitting back here. He's got time. He's got time. Now he can get rid of it. He uses good athletic ability to get away from the first pressure by Fleming. Cotton strips the football, and Flory fortunately comes up with the fumble recovery. But again, just not getting the read quickly and making the decision quickly by the rookie quarterback Barnett.
Wally Buono was telling us that for a young quarterback, everybody looks covered on your initial look. It's the veteran who can see someone like Tyree Davis there breaking away after the initial read. That time Barnett couldn't see it. He paid the price. Second down, 24 yards to go on the loss and the fumble. The point had it, dropped it, picked it up again, Chris, as Montreal stays extremely conservative on that second and long situation.
Absolutely, they come back with a delayed draw, and as you say, Lapointe very fortunate to get the football back. Just going to give it to Lapointe, sticks it in there. He drops it, very fortunate to get the ball back. Recovered quickly, tackled quickly, and as a result, the man we've talked about a lot already in this first half, Terry Baker, number 10, on to again.
Third Montreal fumble of the half, all recovered as Barnett goes back for a tutorial on the Montreal sidelines, and Terry Baker comes in to punt again.
And you know, one of the things we talked about without Cavito, the last 3 games without Cavito, 12 turnovers. And it's not looking any better right now.
27 points from turnovers to the Toronto Argonauts 1 week ago. Antonio Warren at his own 40. Glenn Young in on the tackle to limit that return to 9 yards by Warren with 9 seconds to go until halftime. Might the Stampeders get one deep pass and a field goal away before we go to the half?
Well, they still have their timeout, so they can get a quick playoff. Call timeout.
The Calgary Stampeders.
Crandall comes in with instructions from George Cortez, wielding a hot arm, leading 10 of 15 for 202 yards and a touchdown in the first half of work.
First and 10, Calgary, they're up 49.
A 16-3 Stampeder lead. Alouettes in a prevent defense here. Crandall looking deep downfield. It's complete at the 45-yard line. To Kamau Peterson. Is that close enough for a field goal with 3 seconds on the clock? Just shy of the 45, which means, Chris, they'll probably spot it close to the 52. That's the yardage that McLaughlin kicked it from on his last field goal.
And remember, he has the wind at his back. He, as you say, kicked a 52-yarder. His longest previous to that was 45. I mean, that's a real confidence booster for McLaughlin, knowing that he booted the other one, and he had a lot of room to spare when he put it through the uprights.
That reception setting up Mark McLaughlin.
This will be the last play of the first half, and they will spot this one at the 53. So 1 yard further than the longest of the year for McLaughlin. With the wind at his back again. Movement of the line of scrimmage. The play is blown down. The kick was wide and short.
Penalty markers down.
But might they move this a little bit closer if it goes against the Alouettes? Budstein conferencing. And it looks like it might go against Calgary.
Well, we saw Fred Schroeder, 68, jump. It was a question of whether the defender jumped first.
They're not moving the ball. It may go both ways here, Chris.
Time count violation. Calgary 13. Second down. Second.
So they lose the down on the time count, but they don't move the ball. And it's a good thing for McLaughlin because he shanked that one. The Alouettes getting the official ruling as Mark McLaughlin gets a second chance from the 53. Pat Barnes will hold this attempt. The last play of the first half. This time McLaughlin hits it harder. Will it get there? Yes! Mark McLaughlin from 53 yards, his longest of the season. And the Stampeders reel off 19 unanswered points to take a 19-3 lead at the half. Here's Peter with Wally Buono.
Wally, you said earlier this week that Thomas Haskins wasn't chopped liver. You've been able to shut him down in the running game. How have you been able to do that?
Well, I think it's just good gap control. He's had his good runs on us, too. Right now, our defense is playing well. Our offense is making some plays, and that was a big kick here at halftime.
Did you think that the offense was going to come on? It looked like they had a couple of plays there, and then eventually, were you feeling confident as the half went on?
Well, again, Montreal's got a good defense, and obviously, we knew that we were going to have time where we were going to have to just do what we had to do. But we got the big play, which really helped us.
Okay, best of luck in the second half, Coach. Okay, back up to Mark.
Stampeders celebrating 4 first half field goals, but there's work to be done for the third stringer at halftime. It's 19-3 Calgary.
Wanna win, gotta play. Classic bingo. Classic bingo. Come on in, win today. Classic bingo. Classic bingo. Wanna play the classic way. Gonna have some fun today. You wanna win, you gotta play. Classic bingo. Classic is the one for a day of classic fun. Wanna win, gotta play. Classic bingo.
You're going to hear a lot of secrets about winning from a lot of drivers. Well, I'm going to let you in on this 3-time champion secret, okay? Good lunch. Can't win on an empty stomach. I hear you.
When you're hungry, nothing's better at satisfying that crave than Wendy's Bacon Mushroom Melt with 3 strips of bacon and mushrooms in a cheddar sauce. Now that's a lunch.
Should I get the combo? Get the combo.
Wendy's Bacon Mushroom Melt. When you gotta have one, you gotta have one.
Rookies. They're all alike.
Remember, Wendy's pickup window is open late, so you can eat great, even late.
Share the Spirit is a special project for special people. This campaign will create a new state-of-the-art multi-purpose athletic and recreational complex for mentally and physically challenged people. Located in Micmac Park, this facility will be open to the public and is designed to benefit everyone in Windsor and Essex County. For more information or to make a donation, please contact the Italian-Canadian Handy-Capable Association at 561-1468 or log on to www.icha.ca.
start with a natural gas range. Natural gas energy. Solutions for life.
Heroes of the CFL. Brought to you by Standard Life.
When I grow up, I want to be an explorer in Africa. I want to go places, see things like lions and elephants and zebras. When I grow up, I want to do things I always wanted to do.
Invest with Standard Life and help make your childhood dreams come true. Ask your financial security advisor about our full range of investment and insurance products. Standard Life. Profit from our knowledge.
Halftime in Calgary, the Stampeders with a comfortable 19-3 lead. Well, if you're a Canadian and you're good enough to play on the Montreal Alouettes defensive line, you've got a proud legacy to uphold. Glenn Weir, Gordon Judges, and Doug Peterson rather, are big names. And now young Steve Charbonneau, a man raised in Quebec but trained in the USA, wears that Maple Leaf mantle.
I like to deconnect a little bit, and playing music is really what gets me away from football, because during 6 months it's all we do is talk football, eat football, play football, and so sometimes it's nice to get away a little bit and kind of really get your mind off it, and music is really what I'm using for that.
Steve Charbonneau carries on a proud tradition along the Alouettes defensive line. The great Canadians who've come before him have set a standard he must rise to on every snap of the ball.
It's tough. It's a tough game. It's hard to go a full season, 18-game season without getting hurt. And but at the same time, I traded my linebacker position for a defensive line position coming here in Montreal, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. I was lucky enough to be partnered up with a guy like Doug Peterson when I first came in, and he showed me a great deal of football.
1 year ago, Charbonneau was poised to play in the Grey Cup for the first time. He was denied by a freak injury on the eve of his biggest game.
It was hard. It's, knowing that you helped the team getting there, but once you're there, you can't really be part of it. And I was at the hotel with my wife, and I was pretty much down on myself, why me and I saw these kids, a group of kids coming into the pool. They were all amputees. Some of them had no legs at all, some of them no arms, and they jumped into the pool and they were just having, fun. And I was like, who am I to be here and complain about my what's happening to me?
Charbonneau came back to football this season newly married. His passion for the game matched only perhaps by his wife, Olympic speed skater Isabelle Charret, on a quest of her own.
I want to focus on football right now, and she focuses on maybe making the team for the Olympics, and also we have to make that commitment. And so March, then we'll be together 24 hours a day.
As November draws near, and with the Owls on a 4-game losing streak, Charbonneau is increasingly anxious about making it back to the Grey Cup at home.
It's the Grey Cup in Montreal. I think we owe it to the fans. We owe it to ourselves, because we've put a lot of work into this. We have a great team. Blues, la métropole.
Steve Charbonneau plays D, but when he went to Plattsburgh in New York, high school in New York, he was a running back looking to put some more pressure on Marcus Crandall when we come back with more of the CFL on CBC right after these messages.
Saving for your children's education? With the Canada Education Savings Grant, even small savings can grow quickly. The Government of Canada will add 20% to your children's registered education savings plans, up to $400 a year per child. Call now to to receive your free information kit on the Canada Education Savings Grant and other services for children. A message from the Government of Canada.
Aren't you going to bring your jacket?
Nah, I'll be fine.
It's getting chilly. Want to grab something to warm up?
Yes, if you want.
Nothing warms you up like a bowl of Tim's Own chicken noodle soup. Enjoy any one of our hearty soups with a toasted buttered bagel and a medium coffee for just $3.59.
Hey, what's your hurry?
Come home for lunch at Tim Hortons.
Welcome to Kingsville Court Retirement Suites, a tastefully designed retirement suite complex in peaceful downtown Kingsville. Enjoy cool lake breezes while sitting on your private porch or the community gazebo. Kingsville Court offers a world of elegance in 1- and 2-bedroom suites, complete with living room, fireplace, 2 closets, and many more luxury features. Our common goal is to offer the finest personal services in surroundings that are warm and relaxed, yet refined. Come home to Kingsville Court in downtown Kingsville.
Monday on Canada Now, a rare inside look at a high-profile program hungry for success but finding no room at the banquet table. The Lancers Inside Out, Monday at 6 on Canada Now.
Man, that sandwich was good. Is there another one? We're saving it for Dave.
You can't resist Wendy's bacon mushroom melt with all that bacon and cheddar.
Hey, Dave, why don't you stay out a few more laps?
Okay.
Where's that sandwich?
Here, I hope no one ate my lunch.
When you gotta have one, you gotta have one.
Maloney is the quarterback. He's going to pass.
CFL Scrapbook with Don Whitman. Brought to you by Dodge. Grab life by the horns.
If football fans were to vote on the best player of all time in the Canadian Football League, many would name Doug Flutie. Well, if Flutie was not the best quarterback to ever play the game, he was certainly one of the most exciting.
Flutie compiled some remarkable statistics during his 8-year CFL career that saw him play in BC, Calgary, and Toronto. 5 times he completed better than 400 passes in a season. Twice he passed for over 6,000 yards in a single season, and 277 of his passes went for touchdowns. Ironically, on the day he threw most often, 63 attempts against Saskatchewan on August 7th, 1992, only 1 went for a touchdown, and the Stampeders lost 30-21.
And in his 8-year career, Flutie completed 4,584 passes.
Well, the current Stampeder quarterback, Marcus Crandall, has attempted only 16 passes, but he's completed 11 of them for 217 yards. They're going gangbusters, Calgary, but how about poor Montreal with 46 yards passing to show for this? They must be having fits at that halftime.
Well, you know what? They tried to get their running game going because we thought that would help take the pressure off the rookie quarterback, but Calgary has stuffed the run, forcing Jimmy Barnett to try and throw the football, but they're taking everything away from him. And his leading receiver is Haskins with 2 catches for 9 yards, and that just tells you how dismal this offense is this half.
One of the big losses was the injury to D'Amico Archangel, who blew out his knee, because this is a man with moves who can put a young quarterback like Jimmy Barnett in good field position. But this was the unfortunate occurrence when his left foot locked. His knee was blown right there, a very painful looking situation, locking right up on him. Then he takes the hit from Dybert, and that was it. He left the game on a golf cart.
Well, absolutely. And of course, on the other side, we've got an offense that keeps growing and getting stronger as the game goes on. And Mark Boerichter, the recipient of this big play, a broken coverage, gets behind Mark Washington, Reggie Durden, and of course, it's a 70-yard rump to the end zone, and the first major of the game, but a big one by the Calgary Stampeders.
Yes, and how about Mark McLaughlin from 53 yards out, his 4th field goal of the first half, his longest of the season, to go with another one from 52. So the big leg from McLaughlin coming through for the Stampeders, who have a 19-3 lead right now at the half. And might we see Dan Gonzalez?
I think you're going to have to see some sort of change, some sort of spark, if you would, to change this offense right now, because, the last 5 possessions, 2 and out. The busiest man out there has been Terry Baker punting the football.
All right, we'll see what adjustments the Alouettes can come up with. When we come back, we'll have the second half kickoff as Gonzalez gets warm on the Montreal sideline. His team with but a field goal to show for the first half.
If you work around the house, don't you sometimes wish you had a third hand? Well, I now have a third and a fourth hand since I discovered a great new idea from Mastercraft, the Mastercraft Lock Chop, exclusive to Canadian Tire. It is the most ingenious and easy way to hold anything together. Where conventional clamps would also require a third hand to install, you can use the lockjaw with just one. It adjusts perfectly, and its ratchet tightening action ensures a strong grip.
Without having to use a lot of strength, the adjustment is so precise it can hold together awkward pieces. The precise step-locking design makes it as gentle or as powerful as you need. You choose the pressure, and it locks in position. To unlock it, just press the quick-release trigger. You'll discover hundreds of uses in and around the house.
Wherever you need a helping hand, the Mastercraft Lockjaw will provide the perfect grip to help you do the job.
Get a set of Mastercraft Lockjaws starting at only $9.99 per pair.
No toolbox is complete without the helping hand of the Mastercraft Lockjaws.
Get yours now, only at Canadian Tire.
Things start with a natural gas dryer. Natural gas energy. Solutions for life.
Aren't you going to bring your jacket?
Nah, I'll be fine.
It's getting chilly. Want to grab something to warm up?
Yes, if you want.
Nothing warms you up like a bowl of Tim's Own chicken noodle soup. Enjoy any one of our hearty soups with a toasted buttered bagel and a medium coffee for just $3.59.
Hey, what's your hurry?
Come home for lunch at Tim Hortons.
Jamie Barnett just completing some warm-ups. It looks like he will continue at quarterback for the Montreal Alouettes, trailing 19-3. Calgary here as we get set to start the second half and go down to the sidelines. Here's Peter with Al's head coach Rod Rust.
Coach, your defense has played fairly well, but you give up that big play late in the game.
Yeah, that was real unfortunate because I thought we were competing pretty well, and that hurt a lot. We'll have to see if we can get it back and obviously not let it happen again. We've got to get some turnovers, keep them off the board, and chip away.
Is that it for Jamie Barnett? Will Danny Gonzalez play the rest of this game?
Not just yet, but whatever seems needs to be done, we'll do. But I don't think Jamie's necessarily the whole problem.
Best luck in the second half to you,
Thank
Coach.
you.
Rod Rust does not sound very enthusiastic. Chris coming out of the half.
You know what I was interested by that one comment? We need our defense to create some opportunities, some turnovers, to try and give our offense some opportunities.
Thomas Haskins at his own 22 on this kickoff return. Mauled by Willie Fells at the 40. A 53-yard kickoff from McLaughlin, an 18-yard return, as Fells celebrates the special teams tackle. So Jamie Barnett will continue at quarterback, the third stringer in his first CFL start, and there are his numbers: 46 yards through the air in the opening half.
We talked about, Haskins being the leading receiver, 2 catches for 9 yards. That's just not going to cut it. Davis has not been a threat at all. Ben Cahoon has 1 catch that was called off. I mean, you've got to start throwing this ball downfield again.
Last 5 series have been 2 and out. Play action, rolling right. Barnett throws it. It's complete. Copeland has it across the 50, and it looks like a Montreal first down. Very close. Here are the first half stats, Chris, and again, the numbers tell the tale.
Well, that's the biggest thing. I mean, you look at the net yards, 84 to 278. I mean, Montreal, no first downs in the second quarter. That's actually Montreal's first down since the first quarter. That tells you how anemic this offense has been during this game.
Jamie Barnett setting all kinds of offensive records at North Carolina State. Encouraging first down pass. This time they go to the ground. Haskins, it's strung out, and Otis Floyd makes the shoestring tackle for a loss of maybe 1 on the play.
Well, one of the things, the reason this play doesn't work is the back has got to read the pulling lineman. Now he tries to go outside of OKK's block, number 53 there. You can't. He's trying to block him to the outside. If you block him outside, the back has to cut inside. Another example of this offense not being on the same page.
Floyd just strong-arming the big man OKK, then putting the tackle on Thomas Haskins. The loss was 1. It is 2nd and 11. A tough second down situation. The CFLs have failed to convert on the last 5 situations, just like this. Barnett in the pocket, across the middle, it's complete. And a first down to the veteran Jock Climby with his first catch of the afternoon. And for the second time through the air, Barnett has hit strikes. A 20-yard pickup to Climby.
Well, just a nice job of sitting back there. He sits in the pocket, throws. He's just got to step on Ricky Bell, but the ball is there. Jock Climby juggles it, but the concentration of the veteran pulls it in, and as you say, that's 2 big plays to start this second half.
Climby, of course, in his second game back after missing 3 with post-concussion syndrome problems. Barnett, play action, rolling, pursuit from Traversy. It's away into the hands, and Bruno Hepel can't hold on as he's hit immediately and pounds the turf in frustration. That ball was there.
Hey, you know what, Mark? The reason he pounds it, he should catch it. I mean, you can't do this. This is a quarterback struggling to get some confidence, some momentum. The ball is there. Now you got to hold on to this football right now. The fact that he juggles it, keeps his hands up, he's not able to protect himself from the tackle, and he pays the price.
Ricky Bell, the rookie out of North Carolina State, making Hepel, as you say, pay the price, taking that shot in the breadbasket, dropping the ball. 2nd and 10. Barnett playing with authority here in the first series of the second half, rolling, buying time, eludes 1 tackle, gets it away, it's complete. Ben Cahoon has the ball, and terrific poise by young Barnett, but it will be short of the first down.
Boy, rightly so. Jamie Barnett should be sacked a number of times in this play. Just sits back, he tries to roll outside of the protection, and what happens is he ends up rolling into the coverage right there, and there should be a sack. That's the first one. Jacobs finally gets him, but what poise to come back, throw inside across the grain to Ben Cahoon in the middle, who picks up 8 yards, but unfortunately short, and now Terry Baker on to try a field goal.
Good job by Barnett on this opening drive, and a field goal situation from the 40. Baker has hit one so far today from 36. Hits this one hard, and it's perfect, splitting the uprights. And the Alouettes get their second field goal of the game as Jamie Barnett comes on strong.
With the new Duramax diesel engine and an Allison automatic transmission, the 300 horsepower GMC Sierra Heavy Duty is the most powerful diesel pickup ever.
It's a bit of a fixer-upper.
The all-new GMC Sierra Heavy Duty.
You've all read this. Top Shelf Consultants. $2 million. Pure strategic thinking could put us years ahead. The board is psyched. I'm psyched. It's a brilliant plan. One question. Given our current technology, is this implementable?
No.
No.
No. Strategies you can actually execute?
No.
Now there's a plan.
Still psyched?
Hey, folks, I'm putting together a little warm-up drill for Team Canada. They're going for gold, and you can too with Goodyear's Drive for Gold. Oh, there are 3 cool ways to win. Get up to a $100 instant rebate on Goodyear tires. Scratch and win for neato prizes, then predict how Team Canada will do, and win your tires for free. Ready when you are, guys. Look at that. Next, it'll be the balance beam. Don't be shy. Come on. Who wants to go first?
It's the 50th season of the CFL on CBC. Both teams here today, Calgary and Montreal, wearing retro uniforms. Stampeders looking the way they did back in the 40s. The Alouettes the way they did back in the 1960s. And Chris, you know, back in the 50s, they didn't have color commentators, so I'm going to have to ask you to take off the headset as we try something different here this afternoon to celebrate our 50th season. Yes, there was no color back then either. Crandall back to pass, hitch pass, complete to Kamau Peterson. He fumbles the ball out of bounds, but Calgary will retain possession. No slot backs either back in the 50s. They called them split ends and flankers and wide receivers. Wing T offenses. As the Stampeders break the huddle, it'll be 2nd and 3, a gain of 7 by the rookie Kemal Peterson, as Marcus Crandall goes to work in the first drive offensively for the Stampeders here in the second half. He'll pass short. It's complete. First down. And there's a flag on the play as Vince Danielson makes the catch across the 50 to about the 51-yard line. Here's Butstein. And the call will go against the Stampeders.
Offensive pass interference, Calgary 88. Second down repeated.
So Vince Danielson is called for offensive pass interference as he gets open to make the catch. Now, back in the 1950s, there were no replays either. As they march the ball back, and Crandall goes into the huddle. He has the call from the bench. George Cortez, the coordinator, making the call. It'll be 2nd down and 14 now, Calgary. From the 31. Shotgun formation. Crandall, pressure, steps up, will throw. It's complete to Bo Richter near the 45 and very close to a first down. But the spot might be just shy. They needed 14, and the gain is very close. Again, we remind you, do not adjust your set. We are in black and white for a few minutes this afternoon as we celebrate 50 seasons of the CFL on CBC. And you see the spot there, less than the length of a football shy. It'll be 3rd down for the Stampeders, just short of the 45-yard line. And special teams are not coming on the football field. Stampeders will gamble. Their own 45-yard line. 3rd down, less than a yard. Crandall up behind his center, Jamie Crysdale, and they'll sneak it across the first down marker and a Calgary first down. Black and white television, the way they did it back in the 50s, the way some of the great voices of this game called it. Men like Norm Marshall out of Hamilton, Steve Douglas, and the Senator Ted Reynolds from Vancouver, who called the 1954 Grey Cup game. There's our score in the great old-time font. 19-6, Calgary leading here in the 3rd quarter at McMahon Stadium. First down. Stampeders, play action pass, naked bootleg. They'll throw. It's Vince Danielson breaking a tackle, diving for the first down. James Whitley, the corner on that play, could not contain the big slot back. Danielson at 6'4", 210, a big target for the Stampeders. Danielson, of course, missing 5 weeks with a hamstring injury. He told me the other day he's been playing with that for 2 years. Danielson with the classic pose from the old days. I remember having my post-serial CFL cards like this all over my bedroom wall back in Ottawa. Great day for the slot back. On the ground, it's Kelvin Anderson running into a huge pileup of Montreal defenders. Fleiser, one of several. There's Stephen Reed out of the pileup. Stampeders wearing the barber pole. Black and white right now, but of course red and white with those nice gold pants they wore from 1961 to 1963. And the Stampeders have asked CBC if they can hang on to those pants games down the road. But the jerseys will all be signed by the players after the game and auctioned for charity. Shotgun formation. Crandall, pressure, steps up. Incomplete.
Pass knocked away.
It looked like Vince Danielson was the intended receiver. Peterson in the vicinity as well. Tipped in the air, but the DBs of Montreal could not bring that one down. It is a 3rd down for the Stampeders as their opening drive of this half stalls just across midfield. Duncan O'Mahony, the rookie out of the University of British Columbia, to punt into the wind from his 45-yard line. He has a 41.9-yard average coming into this game, worst in the CFL, but that's a beauty. A spiral back inside the 5-yard line. Tyree Davis has a seam. Flags are down. Finally, Davis corralled as he crosses the 15-yard line, but a tremendous boot from O'Mahony, 47 yards into a stiff breeze here in Calgary. An 11-yard return by Davis, and difficult field position for Jamie Barnett as he comes out for his second series.
Montreal number 8. First down.
The Owls called again, holding on special teams, and they'll move it back. In the third quarter, it's Calgary, 19-6 over Montreal.
Well, you walk around your corner, girl, come on back and don't pass over the front and left in the corner, right now slip the clock's left out of man, and come on back to right 11 grand.
Take the woman on your right, link your arms, spin to the right. Very nice.
A Clarica agent can make sense of almost anything, especially your investments and insurance. Clarica.
I don't like you. Oh, I love you. Seems that I'm always thinking of you. Oh, I love you madly.
With its smooth car-like ride and rugged good looks, the 2002 Hyundai Santa Fe really takes all. On-road or off.
On November 2nd, you won't believe your eye.
Would you listen to this? Blame it on the little guy with his one eye.
The creators of Toy Story take you into the high-pressure world of Monsters, Inc.
You little one-eyed cretin. Okay, first of all, it's cretin. If you're gonna threaten me, do it properly.
Billy Crystal, John Goodman.
Where is he?
Monsters Incorporated, in theaters November 2nd.
There's no score in the first quarter of this Grey Cup game. There's the pitch. Running wide out to this side across the 40. And a fumble intercepted by Bobble. Bobble heading down the line. He may go all the way. Bobble is really turning it on. He's over in the corner. Touchdown for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Ted Reynolds with the call from 1957, the Grey Cup game at Varsity Stadium, as we come back to living color. And the big man is back on headset. Enough time there, Chris, for 3 hot dogs and a Coke.
It's a good thing you weren't counting. It is great to be back, and thank God we got color so we can, I have no job. You're doing such a fine job there. I was just getting all excited listening to you talk.
I'm glad you're back, big man. Provide analysis. The replays are back, and Jamie Barnett at quarterback, 3 of 4 completions in his first series for 39 yards. What will he do here? Shotgun. Now he can move. He's got wheels. Scrambling to the short side. He'll run. Hit hard by Malvo, and you can hear that all the way up here, Chris.
Nice job of Malvo sticking him, but you can see the determination of the young quarterback. Jamie Barnett getting out of trouble again, doing what he can to keep the drive alive, to keep the offense on the football field.
Let's listen to the contact. Malvo. And the kid puts his head down for a 10-yard gain and a first down. This drive starting on the goal line, the 1-yard line of the Alouettes, as Jamie Barnett has come out some moxie here in the second half after a dismal opening half in his first CFL start. He'll go to LaPointe, running with authority, putting his head down, and another Alouette first down across the 40. The gain about 14.
And I think this is the way you attack the Calgary defense, is with a power back, much like LaPointe. Haskins, a great running back in his own right, but I think you have to go right at him north and south. And we've seen this play twice successful. Once to the left side of the offensive line, once to the right on this play. And that's what they have to do. Go right at the strength of the Calgary defense.
3 first downs in a row for the Montreal Alouettes as the Stampeders get a challenge on offense. Barnett rolling left. He'll keep the ball, running more in this half. Gets a good block from Tyree Davis, keeps his footing, and steps out of bounds at the 45. Another Alouette first down. That's 4 in a row.
And what they're doing, Mark, is they're trying to run the shovel pass. What he'll do is if they open it up, he's just going to look for, see Haskins number 4 running there. If he's taken, then he has to pull the ball down and try and find what he can get on himself, and does a great job. Nice block by Tyree Davis downfield. And Barnett chugs along, getting out of bounds in Calgary territory.
Terrific start to the second half for Barnett, who has not played a meaningful football game in 2 years since he left college at North Carolina State. 3 of his receivers in his senior year went to the NFL. He didn't run much those last 2 years at college because he had a knee injury. This time he'll stay on the ground, giving it to LaPointe. Up the gut left side. Willie Fells helping to make the tackle for the Stampeders in a short gain.
Well, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Only we're playing on turf. But you know what? It's just a good job of just getting it. Again, going there. Willie Fells with the responsibility of making that tackle. He does not make that tackle, Mark. Eric LaPointe is going for a long way.
LaPointe, 5 carries, 48 yards so far this afternoon. His longest, the second last for 25. Second down, 7 yards to go, Alouettes. Here's Barnett, staying in the pocket this time, flushed, gets it away. It's incomplete as Alondra Johnson hits him from behind as he released the ball.
Well, one of the things a young quarterback will do, if he can't find anybody, they have a term called happy feet. They start bouncing around and they move around. Jock climbing. Now he's going to run his pattern, just going to work a little bit. We're going to get Ricky Bell, goes to the outside, he's wide open, he wants the football. Fortunately, the football's not going to be delivered because Alondra Johnson and James Cott, number 99, are going to lay a licking on number 12 on that play.
And Eric LaPointe, limping at the end of that replay, is down at midfield as injuries continue to bite the Alouettes.
They seem to be looking at that left ankle, working on it right now.
Number 5, Eric LaPointe, being attended to.
Chris LaPointe running strong here in the second half. The Owls already losing Archangel, the return man, and back in the first half. Of course, Mike Pringle still convalescing after injuring both of his feet. One a dislocated toe, the other a hyperextended arch. And this is not good news, although LaPointe is up under his own steam.
Well, he's limping off under his own steam. I think they'll take the shoe off, take a look at the ankle. If they can put some tape on it for support, they will. They'll probably give him a spat job, which is a tape job over the shoe for more support. And hopefully we'll see number 5 back in the football game shortly.
Third down and a field goal situation for Terry Baker. Ben Cahoon will spot this at the 49-yard line. 36 and 40, the distances so far for Baker, and he's wide left. And the Stampeders, Antonio Warren, will concede a single as they go to work on Eric LaPointe at the Montreal bench.
You've always trusted Canada Post to securely deliver the things that are important to you. Now it's a whole new world, so we're delivering in a whole new way. From cyberspace to your place. From your world to around the world. Today's Canada Post. From anywhere to anyone.
Sunday is Kids Day at McDonald's. That's because a delicious Hamburger Happy Meal is now just $1.99. Hamburger Happy Meals, only $1.99 on Sundays.
There's a little McDonald's in everyone.
Now on DVD.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Own the Godfather DVD collection with new commentaries from Francis Ford Coppola and over 3 hours of bonus features.
It's strictly business.
The Godfather DVD collection. Buy it today.
Hey, Daryl. Hey, how's it going, Dave? How am I doing? You're a natural. Hey, you got an oven in there, guys?
When you get that craving for Wendy's bacon mushroom melt.
Coming through. That was close.
With 3 strips of bacon and mushrooms in a cheddar sauce, you just have to get one.
Hey, Dave, come on in. We gotta go get lunch. I'm starting to get the hang of this. He says he's getting the hang of it.
Wendy's bacon mushroom melt. When you gotta have one, you gotta have one.
Whoa!
Remember, Wendy's pickup window is open late, so you can eat great, even late.
Back in Calgary, and Chris, a chance to update your game notes.
Well, absolutely. We can talk about what we expected out of Montreal offense. We said they got to stop the turnovers. Dismal last week. They have 3 fumbles this game already, but fortunately they recovered them all. On defense, stopped the big play. Bo Richter, 70 yards. Calgary, 19 points in the second quarter, so they got some points on the board. And they don't need to catch any interceptions right now because they're stuffing everything anyway.
Here's Warren with the pitch out wide side. And stopped just as he crosses the line of scrimmage. The gain will be about 3 yards on the play.
Well, Antonio Warren, as you say, comes in a lot of times, alternates with Kelvin Anderson. Nice job of picking his way, but a good job of reading the play and filling it by middle linebacker Glenn Young, number 55.
2nd and 7 for Marcus Crandall, who has been good on 60% of his passes for 248 yards and a touchdown so far this afternoon. In the shotgun. Across the middle. Bo Richter goes up high, but is hit from behind by Lester Smith, Torrey Hunter, and can't hold on. It's incomplete and a punting situation for Calgary.
Well, the Montreal defense is doing its part. Tim Fleischer, 34, coming through there with the pressure. But look at this. Lester Smith timing this perfectly on Bo Richter. Just as he pulls that ball in, tries to secure it. 36. Knocks it loose from hitting it from behind and forces O'Mahony to punt the football and give the ball back to the Montreal offense.
Tyree Davis is back for the Alouettes, along with the rookie Reggie Durden, as O'Mahony stands at his 31. Lots of time, end over end, short to Durden at the 31. Durden gets outside contain and is corralled and thrown into the Montreal bench. Lawrence Deck, the rookie, making the tackle for Calgary. 35-yard punt and a 14-yard return. And good field position for these Alouettes, who started the last drive, Chris, on their own 1 and moved it 67 yards in 6 plays.
But this is why special teams is so important. Field position, that's what you want to do. Start swinging it in your advantage. Reggie Durden does a nice job of getting to the outside. There you see Deck with the tackle, a little unceremoniously throwing him into his own bench.
Barnett's numbers improving to 50%. And the timeout has been called by the Stampeders. It looks like they were short one player as Otis Floyd sneaks onto the field. Let's go down to Peter.
We're here with Canadian short track speed skater Isabelle Charret, who's the wife of Steve Charbonneau of the Montreal Alouettes. And now, why are you in Calgary as well as your husband? We know he's playing football. Why are you here?
We have a World Cup of short track this weekend, and I wanted to watch a competition. I'm not skating because I didn't skate last year, so I'm not on the racing team, but I'm coming back after a year off, and I wanted to see the competition, the level, international level. So that's what I'm here.
What's it like to have 2 high-performance athletes in the same house?
It's good. It's I guess we understand each other, and we know what the pressure is like, and I think it's good.
Any advice for him? I know the team has struggled the last 4 weeks. You say anything, you just stay clear out of his way.
Actually, I don't give advice, but I think I listen to him, and I understand how he feels, and no, I guess it's a team situation, and I guess they have to go through that, and I think they're going to come back stronger after that.
Thanks a lot for your time, and best of luck. Enjoy the game.
Thank you.
Steve Charbonneau, not just a musician, but also a handyman. He's in the midst of renovating 2 homes, one in Montreal and one in Cowansville, Quebec. Here's Barnett in trouble. Loses the ball. It's down. It's picked up. Cotton rumbles to the end zone. Touchdown, Calgary Stampeders. Yards after the ball was stripped from Barnett, who probably should have eaten it instead of trying to pass in the grass.
Absolutely, you couldn't say it any better. It's exactly what he was trying to do. He was trying to make something out of nothing. We've seen him time and time again try to escape the clutches of the Calgary Stampeders defense. He gets lucky a lot of times earlier in the game. This time he should have just taken the sack. Tries to force the situation. The ball jars loose. James Cotton, 99, picks it up, takes it into the end zone, and a big blow for any hopes that the Alouettes might have had.
right here. He should have eaten the ball as Pilon got his hands on him. And there was James Cotton, already with 1 sack today, picks up the fumble recovery and returns it 23 yards for pay dirt. McLaughlin's convert is good. And after a promising start to the second half for Montreal, they're in trouble as Cotton opens a 25-7 lead.
Make it happen.
Use your Canadian Tire credit card when you run in, and you'll run out with 20% more Canadian Tire money on the card. It pays to use the card.
James Cotton still savoring the fumble return for a touchdown and a 26-7 lead. Mark Pilon, the man with the strip.
Well, Pilon and A.J. Johnson, 51, and 93 comes over the top. He jars the ball loose and allows James Cotton, number 99, to go into the end zone. There he's escorted by a very jubilant Joe Fleming. And what might be a backbreaker of a touchdown for this Alouette team.
And there's an injured Stampeder at the Montreal 5-yard line as the celebration continues on the Calgary bench.
That one was for AJ. Right there, old man right there, AJ.
I'm not sure AJ is going to appreciate being called the old man, but that one was for AJ from James Cotton.
Well, AJ's played very well again today. He's made some key stops. He's always around the football. The 14-year veteran knows how to get it done, and that just shows you, you know, as we see David Heisman, 54, again another ankle injury. You can see he's got the brace in the ankle already, and a lot of these guys wear the wrestling type shoes to kind of give the ankle a little bit of support. Just obviously turned it on that play. The big man, I mean, you're carrying a lot of weight there.
335 pounds. He tips the Toledos. 6'5" out of northern Arizona, but he is walking gingerly back to the Calgary bench on a bad wheel.
And they really don't want to lose him. They just got him back, the second game back for the big man. They really feel that he adds more of an aggressive push on that offensive line. As we take another look at the events that just unfolded. Alondra Johnson there, and of course 93, Mark Pilon there, forces the ball out. Again, Barnett trying to throw the ball, Mark, as you said earlier, should have just took the ball and took the sack and went down and regrouped.
It's exactly what the Calgary defensive game plan has been. Make the sophomore hold on to the ball. And he did too long there. The kickoff to Thomas Haskins at the 25. Gets a wall, cuts up middle, and then is met quickly and dropped immediately. For a short gain, a 12-yard return. Barnett will stay in the game. Here's the comparison, though, as he has a third of the passing yards of Marcus Crandall.
Well, that's not really a comparison. That's almost unfair to put on the screen right there. But if you're going to learn, I mean, this is definitely going to be an eye-opener for the youngster. Go home, make some adjustments, watch some game film, and he's going to see a lot of things that he could have done.
Marcus Crandall all smiles on the Calgary bench as he's had 2 great outings since being on the injured list for 5 weeks. Barnett in the shotgun. Rolling, cutting the field in half. He'll throw to the sidelines, way too high for Ben Cahoon, and Cahoon is drilled by William Fells. Incomplete.
Well, Cahoon went up, and I got to give him credit. That's a warrior-type effort to go up there and climb the ladder to make this catch. Barnett's just going to do a half roll, and he's got to learn to sit behind his protection. Don't outrun your protection. As a result, Joe Fleming gets a shot at him, but he goes up in the air. Very fortunate, as you say, that William Fells did not hit him low. And as many times we see, tip him right over, and he comes down hard on his head.
40 seconds to go in the third quarter. 2nd and 10. Alouettes. Barnett dropping back. Time. He'll throw deep down the far side. Tyree Davis, the intended receiver, but he's smothered in double coverage as Greg Frères comes across from the safety position, and Anthony Pryor was step for step.
Well, nice job of coverage, as you said. It's one of the first times we've seen the young quarterback go deep, looking for his speedster, Tyree Davis. He's got to step on, and the ball is there, but look at the coverage. Greg Frères not running into the deep. Nice job of trying to do it a little bit.
I don't know, Chris. That was close to being interference.
Well, the thing that would...
Look at that. Tyree Davis, who got into some skirmishes 1 week ago, is incensed.
And as we have the opportunity to see that on the replay, we also noticed that Greg Ferris did not play the football. So very fortunate that flag did not go against him.
Baker punting, end over end. It'll bounce at the 40. Loud has it and is immediately tackled as Montreal's punt cover continues to excel this afternoon. 11 seconds to go in the third quarter and a 26-7 Calgary lead. A 7-yard return by the rookie Loud. And Stampeders go back on offense. This Calgary team in a tough playoff race here in the West, with Toronto moving into a second-place tie coming into this game with 13 points. A point on the overtime loss last night at home to Edmonton. Stampeders know they can't catch Edmonton for first place, but they'd love to have second. This will be the final play of the third quarter. First down, Crandall handing off up the gut to Warren, and he's hit hard by Lester Smith, filling from the free safety position. A gain of about 5 yards on the play. They'll change ends, and when we come back, the Stampeders will have the wind at their back, and the Alouettes still frustrated. Chris wearing their retro jerseys, the Stampeders in the barber pole red and white and gold pants, combining two eras, the 40s and the 60s, and of course the Montreal Alouettes in their dark blue 1960s jerseys, white pants with red stripes, and these jerseys will be autographed by the players immediately following the game and will be auctioned off to various charities across the country.
And you know what? You were wondering what I was doing when we went to the retro black and white. I was in there making a bid.
I'll tell you, there's some nice looking jerseys out there, and some of the players have said they want their jerseys, so they're welcome to make a bid. Second down. Crandall with pressure gets it away, complete to Mark Boerichter, and a first down just shy of the 45-yard line. Gain of approximately 9 on the play.
A nice job of just sitting back there knowing the pressure's going to come. Richards is coming. Arkell Trulak's coming, number 58, but he gets the ball away in a little crossing pattern to Boerichter, and there's a lot of work out there to bring in a blitz. 55, Glenn Young. Everybody's getting picked up. That's a nice job. Trying to give your quarterback as much time as he possibly can have.
Defense playing with a sense of urgency on the Montreal side of the ball. Here's Antonio Warren running into heavy traffic. Warren coming into this game just 2 kickoff returns shy of the single season record and only 13 yards shy of the single season record, but he's yet to get a kickoff from Montreal.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, but he's carrying the ball more than he probably thought. As we look at the three-quarter stats right now, and obviously yards passing, the big one right here, 248 to 85, 320 net yards to 198, and those numbers are actually flattering because Barnett actually had a better third quarter than he had the first half.
Second down and 5 from the shotgun. Crandall steps up, across the middle. It's complete at midfield to Loud. Camille Loud holds on to the ball and is rocked by the linebacker, Stephen Reed. First down, Stampeders, as they move the sticks again.
Well, the biggest thing, and I use that word, these receivers are all tall, big targets for Crandall, and he just gets rid of the ball. And again, Camille Loud coming across, another big 6-footer. I mean, he's going to punish you as much as you punish him after he makes the catch, and Stephon Reed trying to lay the lick on him.
Stampeders moving the ball and eating up the clock. Less than 13 minutes in regulation play. Here's the reverse. Peterson takes the ball, but the Alouettes were waiting. They showed that earlier in the game, but handed off up the middle. This time they went on the reverse, and Wiltshire was waiting with open arms.
Well, they've ran that same play with Mark Boerichter coming around. He's actually got 3 rushes in the season. This time, Kamal Peterson being the recipient of the reverse. Just going to fake it. Pull right back. Warren goes into the line and blocks, and of course Kamal Peterson comes around the edge, but Kelly Wiltshire, nice job of staying with his initial read and not being fooled by the misdirection handoff.
Loss of 1 on the play. 2nd and 11 Calgary. Crandall. Time throws to the sideline, in and out of the hands of Kamau Peterson. And he was at least 2 yards past the first down marker.
And one of the things I've got to say, Mark, that I've been very impressed with is the receiving abilities of the receivers today, and the fact that Calgary's receivers haven't dropped many passes. This might be one of the first ones that we've seen that should be caught that wasn't.
Kamau Peterson, 7th-round pick of the Stampeders. They were surprised he was still available. They had him rated as the number 2 Canadian overall. As O'Mani gets set to punt, he's having a great afternoon, Chris. Well, in excess of his average so far this season, by at least 5 yards. Flag on the play. Pounding punt deep, pushing Tyree Davis to his own 3-yard line. Nowhere to go. Mark Pilon, first man down. A 51-yard punt and just a 4-yard return. And again, tough field position for Montreal.
But how about the coverage of the big man, 93, Mark Pilon, all 6'5".
Offside, Montreal number 80, penalties decline, it's first down.
Getting downfield to make the stop. I mean, you got to be impressed by that. You know, this is just a hustle. The whole team is hustling. When you got your defensive linemen making plays on special teams, you know things are working well and things are looking up.
Saving for your children's education? With the Canada Education Savings Grant, even small savings can grow quickly. The Government of Canada will add 20% to your children's registered education savings plans, up to $400 a year per child. Call now to receive your free information kit on the Canada Education Savings Grant and other services for children. A message from the Government of Canada.
Being tall, well, it does have its shortcomings. Usually, when you find something you like, it's not available in the size you want. Moores seems to understand this better than others. Not only is the style and selection there, but you're not treated as an afterthought, and that's a tall order. After all, when you're my size, it's nice finding something that fits. If you know what I mean.
Well made, well priced, well dressed. Moores.
Always made Jack Daniel's whiskey the way Jack Daniel himself prescribed back in 1866. And just one sip will tell you why. We always will. Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey.
Football hockey doubleheader in Calgary today. Coming up later this evening, it's Hockey Night in Canada. Leafs in town to meet the Flames. Right now, it's tough field position for the Alouettes as Haskins gets the pitch out, and he's pulverized. Anthony Pryor hits him head on.
Well, the reason Anthony Pryor does a great job of laying the lumber on him, what a great hit, you can hear the pop, is they do such a fine job of stringing it out. James caught 99. Otis Floyd strings it out, forces Haskins to keep it to the outside, and as you say, 37. Anthony Pryor comes up and finishes the job, and boy, does he put a lick on him.
5-year NFL veteran with savvy on the corner, and Haskins has had a tough day on the ground. 31 yards to show for 8 carries. Loss of 1 on the last one. 2nd and 11. Barnett rolls past the goalpost, steps across the goal line, and throws nicely to first down territory. Ben Cahoon makes the catch, and the gain is 12. Cahoon, the veteran, running the necessary first-yard distance.
Well, nice job of right here. This guy right there, Bruno Happel, taking Joe Fleming down, allowing Barnett to have the open field vision to see the receiver. That's a nice job of working together by Happel and Barnett to get that completion.
Well, Barnett using the uprights perhaps as an extra blocker out there as he rolled around calmly into his own end zone, and a first down. 10:15 to go in regulation. Barnett with time. Now Jacobs pressures him, and he loses his footing and falls to the turf for a loss. 7 yards.
Just a bootleg. That's all they're going to do. They're going to pull number 57, Scott Flory, outside. He's his personal protector. You got to stay with him. See him coming up 57 now. Don't outrun him. Stay with him. Now he sets up 57. Scott Flory thinks he's going to the outside. That allows Jacobs to come back inside. Look at Flory. You got to work together. You can't do this and leave him on an island like that.
But as you said off the top of the program, Chris, it's hard to do that on 3 days practice. The third stringer really in over his head here. 2nd and 16. Back to pass. Pressure. And he's down again. Ray Jacobs, the culprit again on the Stampeder defense.
Well, this group is really putting the pressure on, and it's definitely helped by the inexperience of the quarterback. He sits up there, he pumps. Now he's got Happy, and as a result, you can see Jacobs, who was initially blocked well by OKK, falls off his block, and the recipient of a good sack. We see James Cotton on the other side working, trying to keep going, and he gets around. But a nice job of protection on him, but unfortunately, too little too late as Ray Jacobs puts the finishing touches on Jamie Barnett.
His 5th sack of the season. That's the 3rd today against Barnett. And Baker now standing in his own end zone. Gets it away from the goal line. A high spiraling punt across midfield. Warren has it at the 50-yard line. Weaving, running hard, and is finally tackled at the Montreal 40. Matt Petts makes the tackle, but not before Warren rumbles for 19 yards and gives the offense good field position.
Mommy's home.
The minute you walked in the joint, I could see you
Putters
were
for
a
all my
gal
friends.
of distinction, a real big spender.
Want to be a big spender?
Big spender.
Enter the Big Spender giveaway, and you could win one of 3 grand prizes of $50,000 in Canadian Tire money.
With me,
Imagine how that would feel.
baby.
Time to let you know what's going on in and around Essex County. The Windsor Symphony will perform in Assumption University Chapel on Friday, October 26th. Call for tickets. The Catholic Women's League of St. Joachim will hold its Fall Pumpkin Fest on Saturday, October 27th. Lots of food, handmade crafts, and fun for everyone. The 6th annual Morpeth Fine Arts Show takes place on Saturday, October 27th and Sunday, October 28th. All works featured are by local artists. Light lunches available.
More than 34,000 enjoying this one this afternoon. Coming up this evening on Hockey Night in Canada, Game 1 as Matt Sundin and the Leafs against the Flames here in Calgary. And that'll be followed by Florida's Panthers in Edmonton to skate against the Oilers. It all begins with Labatt Saturday night at 6:30 Eastern.
First and 10, Calgary.
Stampeders have struggled on offense in the second half with 3 punts to show for 3 drives. Here they are, though, in good field position. Pump action. Crandall down the sidelines, looking for Peterson, who climbs the ladder, but can't bring it down. It's incomplete.
Well, he's becoming quickly a favorite target of Marcus Crandall. I mean, he just goes. He knows this guy is, like you say, he's going to do whatever he can to come down with a football. Great athlete. I was looking at his bio yesterday. I thought it was just, here's a guy who didn't play football till high school. Plays in 1 game in high school on offense, scores 6 touchdowns.
Goes on defense.
Goes on defense and returns 3 interceptions for touchdowns. So, I mean, he can do it all.
Great athlete. Stampeders expect he will become a premier receiver. 4 catches for 38 so far this afternoon. Pressure on Crandall. He evades it. Still going. Fires across the middle. And it's incomplete.
Well, just to throw an incompletion.
Fleiser was in on the flush there.
Well, Timmy Fleiser, I mean, is not a guy who gets a lot of starts. He's a backup, and he gets to play in all the positions. But he's really had a whale of a game in a losing cause for the Alouette defensive line. Tremendous hustle. We've seen him in the backfield more than once today. Keeps working, keeps working. That forces Crandall to throw that ball behind any receiver, and McLaughlin on to try a field goal.
McLaughlin has been perfect. 4 for 4, his longest, 53. This one from 48.
Take a 48-yard field goal.
The long distance feeling today. Hitting this one hard. It's good. 5 for 5. Mark McLaughlin, true today for the Stampeders.
Hey, folks, I'm putting together a little warm-up drill for Team Canada. They're going for gold, and you can too with Goodyear's Drive for Gold. Oh, there are 3 cool ways to win. Get up to a $100 instant rebate on Goodyear tires. Scratch and win for neato prizes, then predict how Team Canada will do, and win your tires for free. Ready when you are, guys. Look at that. Next, it'll be the balance beam. Don't be shy. Come on. Who wants to go first?
Mark McLaughlin, perfect today, 5 for 5. 53, 52, 48, 32, and 17 yards.
That would be the short and the long of it there, Mark.
The Alouettes in difficulty again on a 4-game losing skid, facing a 5th here. With injuries at quarterback and running back really hurting this offense. The third stringer, Barnett, still in the game, pumping, wants to go deep, has time. Now he goes to Tyree Davis, in and out of his hands as he looks into the sun. Incomplete.
Well, that's inexperience by Jamie Barnett. What I mean by that is he pump fakes. Now, if you're going to pump fake, then you got to throw the football. But he pump fakes, pulls the football down again, and waits. Now, Davis is going to run a little wheel route, out and up. Now, initially, there he is. He's got the step. But the fact that he pumps Barnett and holds the football allows the safety, Greg Frères, to come over and make the play. Just another example of the inexperience of the young comer.
Completed 9, Barnett has, of 20 attempts as Frères scans the offense. 97 yards passing, that's all he has to show. Back to pass again, 2nd and 10, he'll go long into coverage. Haskins, the intended receiver, but he took a beating. Malvo is celebrating that hit, and it'll be another punt situation for the Alouettes.
Oh, he threw that ball between 2 of the defenders we've seen lay a great lick today, and that would be Malvo and Pryor. He's just trying to fit it in there. Sit back there, throws a little out pattern. Good coverage on the play. Kelly Malvo very excited about his part in stopping that.
The Alouettes, the drought continues as they conference on the sidelines. They have scored but 2 touchdowns on offense since Anthony Calvillo left 4 weeks ago. None here today. 2 field goals and a single. And Baker gets a skyrocket back to the 15. It's Warren returning for the Stampeders. But lots of traffic to limit his return to just 10 yards on a 60-yard punt from Terry Baker, who has been the star of the day for these downtrodden Montreal Alouettes.
Winter Slalom. It grips on ice. It bites its way through snow. Winter Slalom from BF Goodrich Tires. Because Canadian winters aren't fit for man or beast.
They were cousins. They could never marry.
A Clarica agent can make sense of almost anything, especially your investments and insurance. Clarica.
You don't have to have a lot of money to appreciate great taste. Come in for Harvey's Great Tasting Value Menu, 99 cents to $1.59. Real, big taste. Harvey's.
It's been called Canada's second national anthem. CBC celebrates its 50th season of Hockey Night in Canada with a musical theme contest. If you're in a school band or want to work with friends on a great video, log on to cbc.ca.
Number 32.
Tell you what, football is a game of controlled violence as we look at the Hoggies on the Montreal bench. The defense rising to the occasion today in their retro uniforms. And the Stampeders first down at their own 25. Kelvin Anderson, who's been given a bit of breather here in the second half, as we mentioned, in his 22nd pro football game after playing in the XFL earlier this season.
Well, absolutely. I think that's a great opportunity. You got a guy like Anderson, and you got a guy that can come in and fill the spot like Antonio Warren, a future up-and-comer. But you know, Kelvin Anderson's a pro, and as you say, look at all the games he's played as you see him busting through the line again. I mean, XFL last year, I mean, you'd think his body be worn out, and maybe that's one of the reasons that he's not playing every down today.
The yards hard to come by. He had just 42 yards in the second week of the season against the Alouettes. Crandall gets it away. Clothesline tackle by Whitley on Kamau Peterson. And they'll be shy of the first down.
And you know, aside from the big play to Bo Richter, the Montreal defense, for the most part, Mark, has done its part to try and win this football game. Again, excellent coverage by James Whitley over there, little bootleg action. Swift Birch applying the pressure, but good coverage. Look at the closing speed of number 26, James Whitley, to take down a dangerous Peterson.
Marcus Crandall has been moving the ball around using virtually all of the hands, favoring Peterson, Bo Richter, and Danielson this afternoon. High snap, O'Malley gets it, then a shank as it hits the ground at the 51-yard line and goes out of bounds at the 49. So the Alouettes a gift of field position to start this drive with 5:36 to play in regulation time. And Rod Rust has had his arms folded much of the afternoon. The Montreal bench has been dead. There's no life as we continue to follow the Grey Cup finalists back home next week against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And what a game that is, with the Cats 2 points back, but with a game in hand in the battle now for second place in the East. First down, Alouettes at the 49. Barnett, reverse pitch out. Copeland has some daylight, then pays the price as he's hit by three Stampeders all at once, with Anthony Pryor introducing himself first.
Anthony Pryor, AJ, number 51, and James Cotton. I'm really impressed with Cotton. I mean, this kid really can play from that end position. Not only coming from the inside, but chasing down the speed. The team speed on defense has really impressed me right now. Just a little pitch out, reverse. Copeland's going to get around the side. Now 99's there. Look at that. Look at the hustle. And look at 51, AJ, Londra Johnson, as you say. Anthony Pryor all sticking there. That's what you want on defense.
Second down and 4 at midfield. Barnett will hand off to Eric Lapointe, running hard and puts his head down, very close to a first down.
Well, it's good to see Eric Lapointe back in. We saw him leave earlier in the game. Bit of an ankle concern. It looks like they taped it up, and he's back in there, and he's, they could have come up just a touch short on this. I would believe that with the score the way it is right now, there's no choice but to go for it.
4:28 to play, and the Alouettes down by 22. That's 3 converted touchdowns. One of those obviously would need to be a 2-point conversion just to tie. There's the measurement. They're about a yard short. Rod Rust, subject of some speculation, given the endorsement from Jim Popp after the 4th straight loss 1 week ago, but he said, I don't worry about being fired. I'm not aware yet that this is a funeral.
Well, I mean, he can't control it. All he can do is get the team the best way he can prepared, and then the players got to play the football game.
Here's the gamble on 3rd down. Barnett pushing. He hesitated after the snap, but it looks like he might have it, Chris.
Well, absolutely. He did hesitate. It almost like he had trouble with the snap, and then when he got it, that allowed the penetration of the Stampeders to try and keep him short, but It looks like because of the spot, they're going to give him the first down. This drive will stay alive, but good play. You see Fleming coming over the top. AJ, Pelon, they're all trying to force him back, but as you say, Barnett, a little hesitant while sticking his head behind those big offensive line and picking it up quickly.
Be brave to stick your nose in there. It is a first down at the 50 of Calgary. Play action. Barnett pumping. He's got time. Now he heaves it deep for Ben Cahoon. Close coverage. It's intercepted. William Fields has it. His 4th interception of the season to snuff that Montreal drive.
Well, you really hate to pick on the youngster. You really do. But when you see a guy looking like this, again, trying to pump fake, trying to freeze defenders, but then holding on to the football and absolutely telegraphing where he is going with the football. Just going deep and allows William Fields to see the football, and as the ball's in the air, they both have an opportunity to play that ball. William Fields comes down with that interception. You see Joe Fleming, great job of fighting through 2 blocks.
Look at that. And again, Ray Jacobs harassing the quarterback. And then Fields finishes it off with his 4th pick. Stampeders first down on their own 4-yard line. 3:09 to go in regulation as they stay on the ground is Warren, and he's mauled right at the line of scrimmage.
I dare say there'll be a lot of ice passed around in the locker rooms on both these sidelines because they are really contacting each other. Both defenses are really doing some wonderful job of laying the helmets on them.
It's the 3-minute warning.
And here are last night's $12 million winning numbers: 9, 15, 18, 27, 31. If you've got that ticket, be sure to hang on to it.
Pontiac Grand Am, built for drivers. Drive away without paying. 0 down payment, 0 security deposit, 0 first lease payment.
Take control of your yard with a powerful steel gas blower. On sale for only $229.95. But it's only at a full-service Steel dealer. Visit our website for a Steel dealer near you. Steel, built to last, priced to sell.
Sunday is Kids' Day at McDonald's. That's because a delicious Hamburger Happy Meal is now just $1.99. Hamburger Happy Meals, only $1.99 on Sundays.
There's a little McDonald's in everyone.
Canada Now, your complete news hour.
I'm Ian Hannamansing.
The stories shaping our world.
The 3 older churches not have to be demolished after all.
The country's biggest stock market.
The events and issues affecting us here in Windsor and across the country.
More than 250 workers will ultimately lose their jobs.
Incisive coverage. Ian Hannamansing and Blake Roberts. CBC News, Canada Now, weeknights at 6.
Stampeders with a comfortable 29-7 lead with 3:02 to play in regulation time. And finally, Chris, they're facing last-minute heroics. Look at this font. The last 7 games have been decided in the final minute. 4 of them Calgary losses. Team looking for its 2nd straight victory of the season. As Crandall throws from the end zone, it's tipped and nearly intercepted by Stephen Reed. Warren was the intended receiver out of the backfield, couldn't hang on, and Reed was a step late.
Step late. The defensive, the lineman of the Montreal Alouettes trying to run a little stunt, little play game, twisting action. All they're going to do is slide Antonio Warren out of the backfield, put him there. The ball a little high, ends up doing the tip drill, and as you say, just a little out of the reach of Stephon Reed.
Chris, are you surprised that Dan Gonzalez has not come off the bench at quarterback for Montreal, considering he looked pretty good in that role against Hamilton?
I think Rod Russ areas he's going to let Barnett play the whole game, find out what he's got, see what, test his mettle, if you were, about just what kind of a player, what kind of character he has being under the gun like this.
Well, the Alouettes set to get some decent field position as O'Mahony stands 10 yards deep in his own end zone for this punt. Durden back along with Davis, and they're going to give up 2 on this one. O'Mahony steps out of touch to give up the safety touch. They will have to kick it off again.
Calgary Stampeders, 29.
But that's just a smart play right here. I mean, this well coached. I mean, you got to give Coach Buono credit for this. Not even going to take an opportunity of maybe giving any life to the Montreal offense by having to punt from the end zone and giving them good field position and say, you know, we'll give them 2 points and we'll kick off, we'll push them deep. Our defense has been all over them all day, so we'll let them collapse.
There's Dan Gonzalez along with Anthony Calvillo with Tukes and Parkas staying warm. No indication that either of them will come off the bench, and Calvillo still in a lot of pain with that rotator cuff in the left shoulder, injured.
I watched him in warm-up today, Mark, and I was watching him move that left shoulder. This is non-throwing shoulder, and he was moving it around, albeit a lot slower than the right one. Now the question comes, how much pressure is going to be on him to play next week in Hamilton?
Because he wants to play. He wanted to come in today. He's feeling the sense of urgency to help his team out. You're right, this was the scene earlier today. Looked pretty good there, but that left arm isn't moving, isn't leading the passing motion. And with 2 weeks to go in the season, the question is, you've got to get these guys back in the lineup. When do you do it? Do you rush them or do you wait to the final week because the playoff spot has been locked up?
Well, absolutely. I think they know the playoff spot has been locked up. But the question is, they still want to have a home field playoff game. Now going in next week, it's a do or die situation with Hamilton now.
Here's Tyree Davis bellying back, looking for a lane. Hit from behind by Aldi Henry. And there's a late on the play as Arkel Trueluck is drilled from behind. And of course, if the Stampeders prevail, as they should here this afternoon with 2:35 to play, this is how the overall standings will look as Calgary moves 2 points ahead of Toronto. The BC Lions sitting 3 back right now in 3rd place. And of course, that might be the battle right there, Chris, for that playoff spot. The Argos getting the point yesterday in the overtime loss.
Remember BC and Hamilton still with the game in hand, though.
Yeah. Barnett in the shotgun, rolling, throwing to the far side. Wide open is Ben Cahoon, who makes the catch, then puts his head down for 5 more. Cahoon showing some emotion with that catch. 2:28 to go.
Well, you gotta like this, Mark. Last week we saw in their losing cause Tyree Davis start losing his temper and going after players. Ben Cahoon does not do that. He goes after players, but he's a small guy, but he's going to try and run you over. Little battle between him and William Fields there, just to let him know, hey, I'm still in this game. I'm not quitting. I'm not going home to this, to the final. Gun goes.
Fields looking nonchalant there, allowing another 5 yards, content to contain Cahoon as gets set to go one-on-one again. Play action, pitch pass, Haskins gets a block and is just tripped up. Anthony Pryor got a piece of his leg to bring him down shy of the first down, but a good gain of about 6.
But the situation that you see with the Calgary defense is there's never one guy just making the play. There's always somebody else helping. Little hitch pass, as you say, goes out there. Now look that's a nice job at 37 getting in there. But the other guy, 39, Willie Fells. It's never a one-on-one situation. This team speed of the Calgary defense really proving itself today.
2nd and 4. Stampeders content to give up the short plays. Handoff right side. Point turns upfield. Gain of maybe 1.
Is not yet to the first down marker.
And all too often we see defenses with this big of a lead play soft, play prevent, almost pillow-like defense, allowing the clock to run out. Boy, you'll have none of that here with these boys. The big boys, look at this. He tries to cover, but look again at the pursuit. How many Calgary Stampeders are there right now? There's 3 in the pitcher. There's 2 behind the pitcher.
Jim Daly signaling in the defense. His line has corralled this Alouette running game all afternoon as Barnett is sub 500, completing 11 of 24 passes for 122 yards and 1 touchdown so far. They'll go for it here on 3rd down. Nothing to lose. Barnett in the pocket waiting across the middle, and it's knocked down by Joe Barnes. Jock Climby, the intended receiver. And so the Alouettes will turn the ball over on downs.
Well, the 3rd time they've tried to go to Jock Climby today. Jock Climby with 1 catch, but again, wonderful coverage by Joe Barnes, following him all across the hip pocket of number 82. Staying with him, step for step. Just a nice job of running right there, closing speed right there, reading the quarterback. Again, when you have a young quarterback, Mark, you used to play quarterback, you know what I'm talking about. You get in there the first time, you start looking at where you want to throw the football.
It all moves so fast down there, and your first read is so critical. If you can't see anybody open, it becomes a long afternoon. 1:40 to play regulation. Scott Dybert gets the call as he hurdles the Montreal defensive line and goes up the gut for a gain of about 5.
Well, Dybert getting an opportunity to carry the mail. He's only got 6 carries all season coming into this game, so he loves to touch the pigskin. He's used mainly as a blocking back. Nice to get your name in the newspaper.
Calvin Anderson getting a breather. The league's leading receiver. Had hoped to see a matchup of the number 2 man, Mike Pringle, who did not make the trip but continues to be on the injured list. 2nd down and 5. Stampeders stay on the ground. Dybert again pushing the pile up close to a first down at the 52-yard line. The gain will be about 4. Might be just shy of the first down marker, but you've got to be concerned if you're a Montreal Alouette football fan, Chris. That's 5 straight losses, and there's no life on this veteran team.
Well, absolutely. They really look like a very downtrodden, demoralized group. There's no life, as you say. They sit on the bench, heads are hung. There's question marks in everybody's eyes here. But I think if you are a Montreal fan, there's one silver lining in this dark, dark cloud, and that is that you will have Cavill coming back, that you will have Mike Pringle coming back. And those 2 players, I know they're only 2 players, but they will definitely have a big impact on the part that's really troubling this Montreal team, and that's their offense.
Well, quarterback is the most important position in football, and as Ben Cahoon looks on, disconsolate. It's been a big problem. Look at last year when Danny McManus went down for the Tiger Cats, and they were in trouble. 55 seconds and counting as the Stampeders try to run out the clock. Dybert gets the call again as they stay on the ground, and there is some question as to whether Anthony Calvillo can play next week. Jim Popp, the general manager, telling it he still thinks it might be too soon, and he said that Pringle left practice after screaming out loud in pain, making a cut, that one of his feet still seriously full of pain.
That's the thing, Mark. People don't understand that in the case of Mike Pringle, both his feet are hurting. Yep. So he has to compensate on the other one, but he can't because both of them have got injuries. That really makes it tough to come back. He may get one back, one better, but he's still got to worry about the other end. He's got an arch problem. Now you got Cavill in a situation with him. Where do you bring him back? Do you force him back next week? What happens if he gets hit and his shoulder gets worse? You've basically thrown away your entire season. That's the gamble right now.
Well, they have a playoff spot. They don't need to win another game, but they do need to secure 2nd place. They don't want to have to go through Ivor Wynne and then Winnipeg to get back to Montreal in the Grey Cup. 2 of the toughest stadium play in Canadian football.
But I think this team, and I think you mentioned it earlier, they've got to start believing in the people they have. You can't look to other people to lead you. You're all being paid to play this game. You're all professionals. I don't care who you got back there, whether it be you, anybody. You've got to believe that you can do the job. And I think that's the thing. There's definitely a lack of confidence in the people we have playing at that position right now.
O'Malley running down the clock, 14 and counting. Nice spiral, drilling it deep. Had a wonderful afternoon. Tyree Davis inside his own 10, tries to get outside, and that will be the last play of the football game. As Davis goes nowhere, so are the Alouettes. Their 5th straight loss of the season as the Stampeders celebrate their 2nd win. They move into sole possession of 2nd place in the West. Let's go down to the sidelines, and here's Peter.
Marcus, the offense, it seemed like you were feeling out the Montreal defense, and then you make that big play late in the first half. Confident about what was happening in the early going, being patient?
Yes, definitely. We were definitely confident, you know. We knew they were going to try to give up the big play. So, we had to stay patient on the offensive side of the ball and, make the big play when we had to. Throw the ball in the intermediate level of the field, and we did today.
As far as the offense is concerned, is this a carryover from last week's game? I mean, you played so much better in the second half than the first half against Saskatchewan. Is this carried over the confidence level on offense?
I think it is. We're playing well right now. We've been playing well for a while, and we've just been finishing off. And so now we're at the point now we're putting it all together. Defense played well for us today, and we stepped it up.
Now you have sole possession of second place in the West. Take some of the pressure off, or do you still feel some pressure with just a couple of games left?
Like I said before, our goal is to win from here on out. That's all we're concerned about, and so we got to focus in on that, and everything else will take care of itself, definitely.
Okay, thank you very much. You had a great game today.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, let's go back upstairs to Mark now.
So the Stampeders winning for the second week in a row. The Alouettes with one touchdown offensively to show in the last 3 weeks without Anthony Calvillo, and Crandall establishing his credentials today.
When I grow up, I want to be an explorer in Africa. I want to go places, see things like lions and elephants and zebras. When I grow up, I want to do things I've always wanted to do.
Invest with Standard Life and help make your childhood dreams come true. Ask your financial security advisor about our full range of investment and insurance products. Standard Life. Profit from our knowledge.
You've always trusted Canada Post to securely deliver the things that are important to you. Now it's a whole new world, so we're delivering in a whole new way. From cyberspace to your place. From your world to around the world. Today's Canada Post, from anywhere to anyone.
How would you like to curl up with a nice, thick instruction manual about water softeners? Me either. Life is just a little too short. That's why Culligan created the Worry-Free Water Program. Here's how it works. They do the work, you don't. All you do is call Culligan, and the Culligan man takes it from there. Hey, Culligan man. So don't just order a water softener. Order a Culligan man. Call Culligan, and let somebody else worry about your water.
Check out all our limited time specials. Call your local Culligan man today.
Hey, let's try the oysters.
This one's over.
The Calgary Stampeders beating a team from the East for the first time today, 29-9 over Montreal, as we rejoin Peter.
We're here with Mark Boerichter, and Mark, big play at the end of the first half there. Tell us what happened.
Oh, it just looked like they were in their nickel package, and you know, look, we saw on film that their weak side guy likes to rotate a lot in the middle of the field. We were worried about giving up the seam there, and you know, the guy over top of me didn't carry me far enough, and they left me wide open.
I asked Marcus Crandall if this was a carryover from the second half of last week's game. In your mind, is it?
I think so, in a way. You know, I think we felt them out a bit in the first half, and we obviously need to stick the ball in the end zone a little bit more. We're still stalling a little bit, but you know, overall, we're definitely carrying it over, and we need to continue that here and through the playoffs.
What's the feeling like now in the dressing room? This is the first time that you've won 3 games in a row. What's the feeling coming off that game last week?
It's good. You know, I think it's good, but at the same time, we know we can't be complacent with this. Obviously, they had some guys down, and you know, we came out and played really well and deserved to win this ball game. But you know, we got to refocus again here this coming week. We got BC and here at home, and you know, we're still in the playoff hunt. We're still fighting for position, so we need to keep it going.
Are you happy to see Marcus back in there? Do you have a good rapport with him?
Yeah, I think I got a good rapport with Marcus. I also think I have a good rapport with Ben too. I think it's just. You know, I know Marcus was itching to get back in the lineup and things, and you know, it's good to see him back in there and doing well. He's reading the field really well and throwing the ball really well.
Can you say the pressure's off now? You got sole possession of second place?
Pressure's definitely not off yet. You know, pressure is always on this time of year, and you know, just because we have 2 wins on our belt right now doesn't mean anything. You know, we got to continue to move forward.
Okay, thanks a lot, Mark. Best of luck. Let's go back upstairs to Mark now.
Peter, a tough baptism. First CFL start for Jamie Barnett, as he completes 11 of 25 passes today for 122 yards and 1 interception, but he was sacked 3 times. The Flames will try to duplicate the fortunes of the Stampeders today as they play the Leafs, and with a preview, here's Scott Oake at the Penrose Saddledome. Across town here at McMahon Stadium, a look at the West Division right now after Calgary's 7th win of the season, as they move 2 points ahead of those Argos in second place. The Argos 1 point ahead now of BC. Of course, the Lions with one game in hand. Chris, what do you think about the Argo chances?
Well, I think they knew that they had to win every game. I think they got out lucky with one point last night, and I think the biggest thing right now is they know they have to win every game. It's not even a question. You don't win, you don't enter the postseason. That's how it works.
And of course, next week the Argos have Winnipeg, the best team in the CFL right now. As the sun gets close to the foothills, it's a 29-9 win for the home team today in Calgary. 28th in Montreal, this year's home of the Grey Cup. It's the Owls hosting the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Here today, Calgary with momentum, 2 straight wins. Montreal in frustration as the big red defense beats up on the third stringer, Jamie Barnett, and the downtrodden Alouettes. Thanks for watching, and so long from Calgary.